Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Skill Jim, and today we're going to be taking a look at all of the PAL released Dreamcast games that were made available back in the day during the Dreamcast lifespan. It comes with not really regret, but maybe more of like a disappointment that I'm going to fall over sort of to facilitate a move to Japan, hopefully sometime this year. I'm going to have to downsize, and I've sort of made the decision that I'm going to get rid of my SEGA Dreamcast PAL collection and potentially maybe start again over in Japan collecting Japanese versions. I've already got some Japanese games for the Dreamcast as well, so it's not like I'm completely going back to bare bones. I'm going to try and start over again. So we're going to be taking a look at every single PAL Dreamcast release. I'm going to show the covers, the rear, inside the case, the disc, the manual. I'm not going to go through every page of the manual, I'm just going to show that there is a manual in there. So this is mainly for my own personal benefit in terms of a memory that I once owned these games. Also, you'll be able to see which version of the games I've got. So like some of them might be predominantly released in the UK, or like a European sort of cover that might be in German on the back. I'm not sure, I can't quite remember what particular releases of these games I've got. I know that there was some on eBay at one point with a little sticker that was still sealed. I forget the branding on that, but they are like potentially European releases that were cheap at the time. I'm not sure if that bears any weight to the game. It's still an official release, but we're going to be taking a look at these in order. So hopefully you enjoy this, guys. Hopefully this is interesting, and if not, again, it's just a sort of personal benefit to sort of show the condition of these games, and again, just a memory for myself that I once I once owned these games. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Rightio, just to begin with, this is like, it's difficult in a way sort of downsizing your collection, because obviously all this stuff has got to either be shipped to Japan or sold or whatever, right? So I've got various things like these that are just sitting on top of my Dreamcast collection. Obviously you guys probably already know these. I think I showed them off recently in that pin collection. But yeah, we've got things like this that I'm not really sure what to do with. Is this something that I keep, or is this something that I sell? Is this worth anything? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, if any of these little extra items that I own are actually worth anything these days, or desired by anyone. I mean, this is something that I could probably pick up quite easily in Japan, or do I just ship it across there because I've really, already got it? It's it's one of those difficult things. I don't really know. This was a Kickstarter book. I kind of bought this for my Shenmue collection because I don't know if we're going to find it straight away, but there's a Shenmue map in here, right? I can't quite remember how far into the book it is. Let's see if we can find the page. I can't even see the word Shenmue. Hong Kong Wanchai, here we go, 122. Ooh, must be the page after that. Here we go, Wanchai, Shenmue 2. Really nice, actually. Do I keep this whole massive book just for like 4 pages? I don't know. I mean, it kind of is part of my Shenmue collection, even though it's not really an official release. This is just a book by Konstantinos Diplomasus, whatever his name is. Like a properly released book by this guy here, but it's not an official SEGA product as such. So is it something that is classed as like a necessity to have in a Shenmue collection, or is it just, one of those fan-made sort of novel things to own because you enjoy the games and, possibly some of the other content in that book? It's a difficult one. So I'm going to go shelf by shelf in this unit. You've just seen the unit a minute ago. Really nice unit, actually. I would recommend, if anyone is collecting PAL, you can fit literally every single PAL released game onto this unit. The only ones you probably didn't see on that shelving were my copies of Shenmue 1 and 2. Obviously, those are probably the only 2 games out of the whole entire full set that I am going to actually keep, because I'm going to keep my whole Shenmue collection, of course. I'm not downsizing that whatsoever. Fucking hell, am I out of breath already? Right, let's go. So let's start off here. The other thing is, these might not be in alphabetical order that you would do. They're in alphabetical order that I would do. So if there's any the's, I put them under T's rather than whatever the word is following the. It's just my OCD doesn't like to see T's or titles that begin with T higher up than the letter in the alphabet, if that makes any sense at all. So first game here, we've got Disney's 102 Dalmatians Puppies to the Rescue. I don't know if the word Disney is part of the title there. That would instantly completely erase the thing that I've just told you about, where this would come under D for me. But because of the spine, which is what we're going off here, it's the number 102 Dalmatians Puppies to the Rescue. So front cover, spine, rear. That's probably how I'm going to do it, but I'll try and show all sides so that you can see that there's no cracks, no broken hinges. Straight into the game there. Disc, I'm not quite sure how to show off the disc, whether or not any marks, scratches or fingerprints will come up, but I'll try and physically say the condition there. There's a couple of little scuffs, not really anything there at all, to be honest. Not that anything would affect gameplay there, and I can say with probably 99% certainty that all of these games today, I've not tested every single game, but when I bought them, when I played them, I made sure to actually play the discs on a Dreamcast, otherwise I would send them back to the seller if I couldn't get them working, or I also held them up to the light, and if there was any pinhole, I guess kind of disc rot, but not really, but you know what I mean, those starts of potential disc data holes in the games. If I saw any of those lights shining through, it would be something that I would actually take back or send back, because a lot of these were bought from eBay or Amazon, probably about 10 years ago now, if not longer. So you can see some of the cards there. This is going to be a long video, by the way, guys, especially if I do that with all of them. I probably won't go through every manual. Another thing that I do is put the manual in the back and obviously the disc in the front. Not sure if that is standard. I think it was, obviously, back in the day when you bought stuff. I don't know if people switch stuff around. Maybe if the teeth are missing, they would switch stuff around. So next game here is 18-wheeler. You can see there's a slide where a sticker once was. It's pulled off a little bit of the blue on the insert there. Disc. Spotless, pretty much spotless there. Like I say, 99% sure these will all work. They've only been sat on the shelving unit for like 10 years, so if anything has happened to them since, I am in a pretty much humidity contained room here. I've got like a little humidity clock almost that sort of tells me the temperature of the room and the humidity in the room, that I try to keep between 40 and 60 on that dial, which apparently is the premium, what's that word? Basically the correct setting that you would like in the room there. So moving on next, four-wheel Thunder. Have I got the numbers right on these? So we had 102, 18-wheel, yes, so I'm going for not a number in a sequence of numbers, but like the 1 is like the first alphabetical order over a 4, if that makes sense. Four-wheel Thunder. This was pretty much brand new. Oh, maybe not. No, this is a game that I actually owned back in the day. Yeah. So any games that I probably had as a child may have some teeth missing, so you can see there, even though the hinges and the case is actually pretty much intact. Unfortunately, there's a few teeth there that I'd rather not have the disc mounted in where it's going to get loose, but actually in the rear side of the case here that actually has a full set of teeth. Again, pretty much spotless, man. I mean, I did look after my games back in the day. It's just very easy when you're pulling games in and out to break these flimsy teeth. I did say I wasn't going to get the manual out, but to be fair, it's not going to take me long just to do that, fan through it. So you can see again, another almost mint condition game there, apart from those couple of teeth missing. Very rare to get, in my opinion, cases that aren't cracked or damaged or hinges missing. A couple of teeth I'm pretty sure is okay in this day and age missing. So this is 90 minutes. This is a game that I feel like I remember buying brand new, and judging by the case, absolutely pristine condition for 90 minutes here. I honestly don't even think I played it. It's one of those games that I probably put in for 10 minutes and it wasn't particularly for me. Even though it's a football game, I do like football games. It probably still has a kind of a new scent, that. And this is a cool little flyer. If there's a Shenmue 2 picture on this, guys, this probably won't end up being inside this box. It'll be something that I keep. But there isn't, so we won't. That is happy to be inside this case here for 90 minutes. Okay. Next up is Aero Wings. This is a game that I originally owned as a child. So it's possibly one of the few that has a crack there, because obviously this has been taken to my nan's back and forth in a carrier bag many times. A couple of teeth, that one's just about going there. But the disc it's pristine. I took such good care of these games as a child. This is a manual that's probably been a little bit manhandled, but still very good condition. A little bit of discolorization to the back. Not quite sure how that's been caused. It's just one of those things. Age, old sort of era. I don't know what I'm talking about. Aero Wings 2, one that I didn't own as a child, so this has been bought off of eBay. So potentially came without those teeth there. And again, it's another one that I've unfortunately had to resign to the back of the box, where all of the teeth are intact. Can't hold the disc and the case when you pull it out that way around. Again, pristine, not a scratch on that. So a lot of these, they probably wouldn't go down as mint in CEX, but I mean, to me, if you're judging condition of a 20-plus-year-old game, I mean, that one, okay, you can kind of see there is a bit of a fold in the rear insert there, a little bit of, I don't know, manual scuff. I don't even know how that happens, but it has done. But a lot of these games that you will see, in my opinion, are mint, but obviously CEX probably wouldn't take them as mint, just because they're... I don't think they even know how to judge games, to be honest. I once took in some Neo Geo Pocket Color games that were absolutely mint, like you couldn't get better condition, but apparently they wouldn't buy them as mint because they weren't sealed. I was like, well, Neo Geo Pocket games never actually came in a seal. And they were like, I'm sorry, we still can't take them as mint because they're not sealed. It's like, honestly, CEX don't make sense at times. Of course, I didn't sell them to CEX because I'm not taking a non-mint price for those sort of games at CEX, because that would be mental. Alone in the Dark. What am I saying here? Alone in the Dark. A game that I would have loved to have played, actually. Never got around to this one. Absolutely mint condition, the first disc. The second disc, there is a couple of little marks. I'm not quite sure why there'd be marks on the second disc over the first disc for a game that I haven't played, but whoever back in the day owned this game, I don't know, maybe they did play both discs and then actually played the second disc more for some reason. Maybe it took them longer once they got past the first disc, I don't know, so they've played that disc more, if that makes sense, I don't know. Manual looks fine in there, a couple of little folds to the manual, nothing that would bring its value down in my opinion. Aqua GT, this was a game that was sealed. I remember buying this sealed off at eBay. Probably played it once. Perfect condition again. mint condition, manual. It's got the Take-Two insert in the back there. Perfect case, perfect teeth. It is one of those that I was mentioning at the start of the video, like a European release. It's still predominantly English, and that might have been how it was released in England. I just remember this being one of those that probably had a sticker on. I'm sure it begins with a H. I can't quite think what it is off the top of my head, but you probably know. Then we've got Army Men, Sage's Heroes. I don't know why they've gone Army Men TM, Sage's Heroes TM. Are those two separate properties? This is one that I didn't own as a kid, bought since. It's not the type of game I would buy, to be honest. Again, pristine condition disc. Wow, nice. Not a single mark on that. Manual, absolutely fine. Not sure if that's a little sticky thing that we could rub off there, but I'm not going to. But yeah, Army Men, Sage's Heroes. Now we're moving to the B's. Bangai O. Great condition this. It's got, you can kind of see, I don't know if this is sort of showing up on the camera or not, but there is a little bit of a mark on the front cover there. But other than that, Jesus guys, it's absolutely mint condition. There's like maybe a thumbprint on that. No scratches that I can see. So it's sort of the thing that I wouldn't want to wipe for the sake of it, if there's just like a thumbprint on the disc. If you own this game, that like this exact copy of the game, like if this somehow ended up in your hands, it might be something that you want to wipe with a cloth, like a soft cloth, but I'm not going to risk it for the sake of the fact that I'm selling it now. So this is, the second one is in English there, so I don't know if that means anything to anyone, if that was like how it was released. This is a common thing with Dreamcast games, annoyingly. The insert here folding over, so let's see if we can get it to go past that. Yeah, kind of worked, but it's still a little bit bent there. That's just something that you just need to sort of fiddle with to make it look perfect. It's very common with Dreamcast games where the rear insert is slightly too big, so it gets caught in the sort of the hinge as you turn it over. This is Blue Stinger, a game that I bought on release actually. However, I took it back to the store. The dude that sold me my Dreamcast, this has got a thumbprint on as well. The dude that sold me my Dreamcast put sort of a negative vibe about this game in my head when I bought it on release. So I had like obviously a Dreamcast, a VMU, controller, Sonic Adventure, Power Stone, Sega Rally 2. Oh no, sorry, not Sega Rally 2. I think it was maybe Virtua Fighter 3 and Blue Stinger, something like that. There may be another game that I bought on release. And the guy said, "Oh, Blue Stinger, you know, like as though there's these better games. If you want to bring any of these games back, say for example Blue Stinger," emphasize Blue Stinger for some reason, you can do so. We'll give you a full refund, or you can trade it or whatever. So I actually took Blue Stinger back and traded it for Sega Rally 2, which, yeah, I don't know which of the two probably is the better game, but I'm really fond of Blue Stinger now. I did play it for like 20 minutes on release, and I think just the attention of the other games took me away from that and made me sort of think like, oh, that was I probably shouldn't have bought that game. Let's take it back and we'll get Sega Rally 2. But yeah, since then I've rebought it, if that makes sense, for the collection. This is Buggy Heat. You can see the front insert's got a little bit of a fold in it, but very much perfect condition still. Disc again, it's kind of got like a weird whooshy mark there. It's not a scratch, it's just like a whooshy mark that I'm sure was like probably there from release, like how they press the game back in the day. You do tend to see that on some discs. All the teeth intact, as you've seen. The manual is perfect pretty much. There's a couple of little blemishes on there. Again, I mean, if I was going to put this on eBay, I'd probably list it as at least very good. I was going to say great. I don't know if great's an option actually on eBay, is it? Is it very good and then new but used or something like that? It's one of the options. So I would say that was very good. Not mint, but very good. Bust-A-Move 4, a game I owned as a kid. I remember buying this from play.com back in the day for like 20-something quid. Play.com was like insane for Dreamcast games. They were like 40 quid in the shop or 23.99 or something on play.com. Love Bust-A-Move actually. It's probably my first puzzle bobble game. The adventure mode was so much fun on this. So we've got a insert in the back there. Did you see that one for Turok? That never actually got released in the end, did it? All of these games did, but Turok Rage Wars. Interesting. Game Boy. Maybe it's just a general... That one I've never heard of either. Marines Project Swarm. Don't know if that was released anywhere else, but interesting to see some Game Boy Color games as well advertised there, and then there's a little insert in the back there for Bust-A-Move 4. Right, we're into the C's now. Caesar's Palace 2000 Millennium Gold Edition. So amazingly, condition is off the chains on these guys. That is like literally unplayed. This may even be a game that was sealed when I bought it. Manual is perfect. It's got sort of a mark where it's been sitting on these raised things at the back here. We've got like some weird insert at the back there from Virgin Interactive. There we go. And finishing off the first section, which I've just noticed, let me have a look. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 sections to get through, and we've finished the first one here with Cannon Spike. Again, guys, I know this is a really expensive game, but Jesus, the case is feeling pretty much a brand new case. There is a little mark I can see down there. That's probably just like a shelf mark. I don't know if these things are showing up. Hopefully they're showing up in the camera there and you can actually see what I'm talking about. Perfect condition. Oh, we have got 2 teeth missing there. It's the type of game that for the price, you may want to switch this case out then, just because of that. But the case feels amazing, but it does have some teeth missing, I've noticed there. Unfortunate, isn't it? I really hate Dreamcast cases for that. You've got such a pristine condition manual, disc, inserts look great. The case feels great, but still, it's got some missing teeth. It's just, Dreamcast games are so weird. I don't know how that happened, but it has happened. So that could be one that you want to switch out the case for, just to get it that like as mint as possible that you can. Right, I'm going to put these back on my shelf and we're going to move into section 2. Okay, section 2 now. So we've got Capcom versus SNK. It's got a little bit of a scuff on the front of the case there. Also a very tiny, minor hairline crack there to the case. A little bit of a scuff on the back there. So this is probably one that I would put as, especially with teeth missing, probably good condition on this. Even though I'm sure the disc is immaculate, the manual's immaculate, just needs a case swap for like a mint condition version of this game. Like I say there, perfect manual. Let's have a look at the disc. Teeth are all intact on the rear. That's a bit of a hair there. Yeah, absolutely not a single. Oh, there is a tiny little weird mark there. Is that a hair or is that a scratch? That was a hair. Oops. Just added a bit of breath to that. Condensation? No? I don't know. You know what I mean. Yeah, Capcom versus SNK. SNK. I always say SNK. SNK. Yeah, I would put that down as very good very good condition. You can't go any lower than that based on the case, because the cases can be swapped. And again, it's a very good case, condition case actually. Carrier. A little bit marked on the front there. All intact though. Teeth are all intact. Disc, I don't know if you can see, just has fingerprints on it really. And not like massive fingerprints, but just like marks that could just be wiped off. That sort of a thing. The rear there, all the teeth are intact. Let's take a quick look at the manual. Yeah, it's perfect. Near perfect condition. It's just the front there, it's just got some sort of blemishes to the plastic cover. Right, we've got Championship Surfer. This is one that I feel like I remember buying brand new, sealed. Bit of a shelf mark on the case there. Disc, I'm pretty sure is going to be immaculate. Oh, it's not, so this probably wasn't brand new then. So there's like a weird, it looks like a hair, but it is one of those wavy sort of scratches. I don't know if that'll come up, show up there. One of those that doesn't affect play. It's not like a proper scratch as such, it's just a weird scratchy mark, if that makes any sense. I hate that. Look at that, that's ridiculous. You can't, I've got to hold the insert to close the thing there just because it's so slidey. And we've got the manual. How was I holding this before where I could actually show you the manual and carry on holding? It must be like that. Perfect condition manual, probably never been read that. I mean, it's still got the sort of the brand new paper aspect to it. Yeah, pretty good condition overall on that one. And we've got Charge and Blast. See some large sort of hairline marks, not scratches or cracks, just some sort of marks. That's a sticky residue that could be wiped clean. And there's a little mark up there. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible because I would like to use this as something that a potential buyer could watch and see what they're actually getting. Perfect disc, cannot see a mark on that. And we've got the rear here. Again, perfect condition manual. Kind of feels brand new, that, even though the case is a little bit scuffed in places. Check-in run. Another that just has a feel to it that just sort of feels new. It isn't, because you can sort of see the back of the case there. I say it as if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. There's a few little marks and scuffs on the back of the case there. Disc is 99% immaculate. There's like one of those weird hairline sort of scratches, but I don't like using the word scratch because it doesn't really look like a scratch to me. It's just like a hairline thin mark. That's still got the insert in the back there as well. And again, manual in great condition. All the teeth intact. Nice one. Just making sure I've got the right stack. Yep. So Choo Choo Rocket next. A game that pretty much everyone's got, probably not really something that anyone's interested in as a collector, just because it's so cheap. Well, I assume it's still cheap. I mean, it was like a £5 when I bought it. You couldn't even sell these for like a couple of quid if you tried, back when I was collecting. So you had to sort of bundle them with other games to get rid of them. But yeah, it's a decent copy of Choo Choo Rocket. Yeah. Pretty good overall. We've got Coasterworks, Build the Ride of Your Life. I'm not sure if that's a tiny bit sun faded. I mean, you can tell me that if that is not as blue as it should be. On the corner there, it looks like we've got a crack there to the case. But I don't even know if collectors care so much these days, because to get a complete case like this, like an original Dreamcast case, like not one that's been remade by someone, you know, like what's that website that does sort of like, not Wave, there's another one in there, begins with a P, I can't think off the top of my head. Pixel Heart, is it Pixel Heart? They sort of remade their own cases for games, didn't they? This is an original Sega produced Dreamcast case, so yeah, to have teeth and hinges intact I think is pretty good. I don't think people should care too much about a tiny crack like that. I don't know, you tell me. We got Confidential Mission here. Really fun game this. So we have got damaged teeth in the front there, unfortunately, but in the rear, perfect case. Disc, I did do this Coasterworks disc, didn't I? Hopefully I did. I'll probably see back on the footage if I did or not. Apologies if I didn't. Yeah, all teeth are intact there. And Confidential Mission manual, looking good. Moving into Conflict Zone. A little bit of a sticky residue, not a scuff I don't think, just, yeah, it just feels like sticky. Something that could be wiped off with a bit of polish. And there's the disc. Perfect condition again, not a mark on that. We're missing one tooth on the front there, and two teeth, I believe. Yeah, it looks like two there on the rear. The manual is okay, I think. It's got that sort of a hard sort of effect to it on the first couple of pages there for some reason. A bit crispier than the rest of the manual. Great condition overall. Crazy Taxi, one of my favourites. I mean, in hindsight, this is a game that I would love to keep, because this is literally my original copy from back in the day, and it kind of feels sad, like the big Sega titles to me, like Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, I'm going to be selling as part of this full set. But, I mean, I don't know if I actually have the attachment like you would think I would have if I truly cared. I mean, that is bloody 10 out of 10 condition there. Considering I owned that back in the day, that is something that I actually picked up day one. Iconic game, cover, rear, man. But yeah, I'm selling it. The only one I'm going to keep is Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2. Here's Crazy Taxi 2. Great condition overall. There's a little mark there. Actually, it feels like it could be something that is a sticker. No, I think that is a scratched mark. That's another one of those slippy front covers. Generally, probably about a 9 out of 10 that disc. There's a few little marks on that. Again, I'll try and do your full 360, see if you can see anything there, but I mean, I'm quite OCD and picky, so that might be like a mint condition disc to someone. But for me, I can see a couple of like little marks, so I'm gonna be honest. Crazy Taxi 2 manual. It's got an orange insert and another one of those new game things. I'm going to take a quick look at that. I don't think it's going to be any different than the previous one, but 2001, you're talking potential Shenmue 2. Now that is identical to the original insert. What's going on? There we go. Crazy Taxi 2. Right, we're going into the D's now. And it looks like Dave, yeah, D-A-V comes before D-A-Y. So Dave, Mira, Freestyle BMX. Perfect condition. Case. Teeth intact. Disc looks brand new. This could be something that I bought sealed. Perfect condition. Oh, yeah, probably one of the best so far, to be honest, condition-wise. Claim insert there too. Amazing. Then we've got Daytona USA 2001. A little bit of a scuff to the case there. Not the best front cover to a case. Scuff on the back, but no cracks, just marks really, blemishes. Missing teeth on the front. Missing no teeth on the rear. A quick look at this disc. Yeah, there's a few little marks on that. That's more of an 8 out of 10, I would say. To me anyway. But generally pretty good still. Manual. Lovely manual too. Okay. Last couple here, guys, of this section. So Dead or Alive 2, this is a game that I owned back in the day. There's a couple of marks on there just from my own usage, of which got quite a lot of use as a kid out of my own Dreamcast games. But having said that, I mean, the rear of the discs are immaculate. Like I say, I took care of them, but I did take them in a carry bag to my nan's, so they were all stacked on top of each other, etc. Dead or Alive 2, and a couple of inserts there as well. Right, last one of section 2. We've got another 10 sections to go. Sorry guys, this is going to be an insanely long video, but hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this is interesting as well if you didn't know what a full UK PAL set looks like. Or not even UK, it's kind of like the full European. I don't know if there's any Australian exclusives, but there's definitely is a French exclusive amongst this, so it is a European continent-wide PAL collection. I'll stop waffling. Deadly Skies. Again, a game I absolutely adored as a kid. I love this game. Unfortunately, this won't play on one of my modern setups because of the HDMI-ness. It needs to be one of those 50 Hz connected via an RF cable, pretty much, to get this running. But it is an awesome game. A couple of sequels you might not realise are on the Xbox and the PS2. But the original is just amazing. A very well-loved copy of Deadly Skies there. The manual has been fanned through quite a lot. The case has seen slightly better days, but again, like I say, the disc is about a 9 out of 10. There's a little couple of marks on there, stuff that could be wiped away anyway. But a decent condition, little crack there, I don't know if I mentioned that. And yeah, that is section 2 done. Again, I just want to show you this unit because this is the perfect unit for Dreamcast games. I'm not 100% on the name of this. I think it's that same unit that a lot of people store the consoles in. Is it like a Kallax, possibly, unit? So you've got these sort of square-sized that fit quite a lot of your consoles in. The only one that I couldn't fit in is the Mega Drive, Mega CD combination, like the long style. It's obviously too wide, but yeah, I can fit most consoles in there. I'm just having a look behind me. I've got an Xbox 360, so then that's laid flat. So that's pretty much what you get inside one of these units. So most retro consoles and whatever, really good unit for that. You see a lot of people with these actually. But IKEA actually do these sort of shelving inserts. Not sure if they do white ones, but I got some grey ones here. I don't know in particular why I got grey. Maybe that was all they had back in the day when I picked this unit up. But as you can see, there's so much space to sort of get your hand over there and pull this particular game out, and it fits, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games in a section. And because these sort of create shelves within the units there, your second shelf, you've still got plenty of hand space there to get your fingers in. I mean, for me, I can just fit my fingers in that second shelving unit there, or second shelf. So yeah, oops, I'm so clumsy, guys, sorry. Really great unit, and like I say, this full, is it a Kallax? I'm going to call it a Kallax, but this full Kallax, not going to say Kellogg, but Kallax unit, pretty much fits. And bear in mind, this hasn't got Shenmue 1 and 2 in, because they're on my Shenmue shelf. So you probably would fit, you wouldn't be able to fit the official magazines in there that I have done, and that's a full set of the official Dreamcast magazines. So for me, without Shenmue 1 and 2 in this unit, it fits absolutely perfect with Zombie Revenge being the only game there. Sound its own there, but it fits perfect with the actual magazines if you take out Shenmue 1 and 2. If you've got Shenmue 1 and 2, I mean, it's probably going to come to about here, right? Just where that pedal is. So maybe you could fit something else there. Maybe you could fit demo discs there, possibly. But yeah, very good unit. I just thought I'd show you that. Right, moving into section 3, we've got Deep Fear, or Deep Fighter, sorry. Yeah, we did move into the Ds already. So, a couple little marks to the front of the case. There's a tiny little mark on the spine, and a couple of tiny marks on the rear. Is this room getting a tiny bit darker? Not too sure. Let's give myself a little bit more light here to see. Disc 1. And that was perfect, by the way. Barely, doesn't even look like it's been played. Same with disc 2, probably never been played, that. Not the type of game that I personally would play through. To the second disc, perfect manual. That is almost mint condition, I'd say. Dino Crisis. Oh man, just seeing some of these games again, and I don't think I've been showing the top and the rear. I don't know if that matters to anyone. Hopefully it's okay that I haven't been. Dino Crisis, perfect condition disc again, can't even see a mark on that. Teeth intact. But yeah, I was going to say, seeing these games again, man, just makes me want to play them. Like, I kind of don't want to sell them, but I'm going to sell them. But I kind of don't want to. This is a weird one now. So this probably would come under B for some people. But again, the spine, OCD, I'm seeing that Disney word first on my shelf. So it unfortunately goes into the Ds. For me, no English on the rear there at all, actually. So this is looks like Spanish to me. So maybe it was a Spanish exclusive. I'm not sure, or I happen to have bought the Spanish version. Oh, mate, it actually says Holland on the CD for some reason, but absolutely perfect condition. Like, I've never seen a disc that clean. Manual, superbly clean. Did I mention the case? That is mint condition, guys. There's just the shelving mark there. That could be one of the flaws in the Kallax unit. That a lot of games that I've noticed have that little bit of a sitting scuff. Not quite sure why. Oops. 1 second. Right, apologies about that, guys. I can't remember the last time someone knocked on the door, let alone rang the doorbell. But obviously this happens when you're doing something like this. So there's a tiny little mark on Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. Again, another one that's gone under the D for me. Disc is immaculate. Teeth all intact. Manual, perfect manual. Another perfect condition game. Mint, in my honest opinion. Disney's Dinosaur. A few little marks on this one. Especially there. There's quite a large sort of scuff to the front cover of this casing. We're all intact though. Disc is a 9 out of 10. There's a couple of little liney things sort of where my thumb is. But other than that, looking great. Manual. Even got the little insert there on the rear, whatever that is. Manual is fine too. Oh, it isn't actually on the back there. Job I showed that. There's a little fold, little crease to the manual. But yeah, still very good condition in my opinion. Right, we've got Disney Donald Quack Attack, and I'm not sure why it's spelt like that. But yeah, strange. I always thought that was a weird spelling of Quack Attack. But this is a great game actually. This is one that I didn't own as a kid. This is one that I've subsequently picked up. No English on the rear, but the game obviously is in English when you put it into the Dreamcast. Perfect condition disc again, not a single mark on that. But amazing little platformer this. I remember playing this through to completion and really enjoying it. Oh, look at that, full colour manual. Not something you see very often. You can see manuals these days. Just on that thing again. Let me see if I can. There we go. Right. We are still in the D's. So front cover wise, this says Chronicles of Pern, Dragon Riders, but on the rear, or on the spine rather, it says Dragon Riders, Chronicles of Pern. Condition is looking great overall. Again, immaculate disc, not a spot on that. The front cover here has a little blemish, kind of like a fold, but actually it's more of a, almost looks like a water stain, but it's not water damage, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Rear of the case looks great. Again, you see what I mean? There's sort of like a, almost like someone just dripped something, like a tiny drip that's caused that. Manual looks great. When I say someone and not I've done it, it's because I mainly bought these and probably played them for like 10 minutes just to get a feel for the game. I remember that one actually being rather confusing at first. I feel like there was like a broom or something in the first room and I was like, I don't know how to progress this. Maybe that's on me. I think it was more like a point and click kind of game, feeling that. And whatever happened at the time, I just couldn't be bothered to try and figure that out. Dragon's Blood, a game I owned as a kid. I actually remember picking this up from Toys R Us for $4.99. A little bit of a mark there, let me see if I can just wipe that. Yep, again, perfect condition. This game is awesome, by the way. I love Dragon's Blood. I love the narration. I love the sword fighting. I mean, it probably feels a bit archaic these days, but at the time it felt really smooth and fluid, the combat. Really fun game, in my opinion. And a great condition copy, that considering that I bought that not day one, probably been out a while for it to be $4.99. It was probably like at the end of the Dreamcast lifespan I picked that up. Ducati World. I know Tom Charnock loves this game. Mint condition. This is possibly one I would have bought brand new. I mean, it has got a little line down there, so maybe not. But absolutely perfect condition. There's the manual. Manual's very crispy. Like a crispy, almost like thicker paper they use for this manual. Yeah, definitely is like really quite thick paper compared to the other ones that are a bit more toilet papery feeling. Let's make a new stack. Oh, this is a good game. Dynamite Cop. One that I could have probably picked up on release, but I didn't. Something that I picked up later. I feel like, because I was like big into reading the magazines at the time, and I remember this getting not so great reviews because it was like a 20-minute game, basically. But to be honest, when you think back to this sort of era, this arcade classics, this plays exactly like an arcade classic game, Dynamite Cop, and especially if you've owned Dynamite Decker or Die Hard Arcade on the Saturn, this game is amazing. It has got a crack on the rear there. And what I mean by that is I would have loved this back in the day. It's just one that I picked up when I was actually going for a full set. And yeah, loving. It's also got a little submarine VMU game. It's not the best. Some sort of ink marks, which is strange, aren't they? I don't know how, unless it's, I mean, it has got, what's that, that P/O, pre-owned. So this is a pre-owned from a shop. They've actually written in pen on the cover there, you can see. That's the first game that I've seen with that. But maybe the manual's sat that way for a long time, which is why it's got that sort of pinky sort of colour going inside the insert there. But overall, I'd put that as very good. We've got Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, one that I owned back in the day. Some scuffs on the spine, like the spine of the case. Got all the teeth intact, which is nice to see. Disc immaculate again. And this is a game that I did play quite a lot of, so well played. I remember at least getting to the section where there's all those tubes of water. Right, nightmare. We've got ECW Anarchy Rules, a game that I'm not too fussed about, not really into wrestling. There's a crack on the back there. Slight fold into the front insert. Disc, actually first time I'm seeing a couple of little scratches, but again, just very surface scratches, aren't they? That's the word. Like, not really going to affect anything there. I don't know if any of that's actually coming up on the camera there, but it's sort of where my thumb is the only real one that I can see. Not an issue though, I wouldn't have thought. Manual seems fine, and we've got the Acclaim insert as well. Then we've got Hardcore ECW Revolution, but on the spine there it begins with an E, so it's under E. And we did move into the E's then, actually, I forgot to mention. This looks really good condition. Perfect condition. Disc immaculate, never been played. Manual, we've got more inserts here actually. Nice crispy manual. Got that insert, we've got some wrestling video VHS insert and the Acclaim insert. Let's put that one on top there, that's a nice insert. Potentially was a sealed game back when I picked it up. Then we've got ESPN International Track and Field. Mint condition case, absolutely mint. Teeth all intact. It was actually hard to get the disc off then. Really nice copy of this game as well. Honestly, probably was sealed and brand new as well. Look at that colourful manual. Love it. That is mint condition. And we're moving into section 4. Okay, section 4, we've got European Super League. A sort of a well-loved looking case on this one. Crack on the back there, some marks, generally okay. Disc is missing on the front there because of the teeth missing. This is probably the worst condition game I have so far. But the disc, again, pretty much immaculate looking. It's a little rough around the middle there, so I don't know if it has had some sort of a disc clean at some point. That's the first time I've seen that one. So that's potentially been resurfaced, I'm not 100%. The manual here looks like it's got a ripped page. It does, a couple of ripped pages there. So yeah, not the best copy of European Super League. I don't think that's a particularly rare game. It is complete. It is good condition, I'd say, on that one. Overall. And we've got Evil Dead, Hail to the King. A couple of marks on the back there, some scuffs. No cracks. Disc is in the front. Looks immaculate. Again, maybe there's a couple of little light hairline sort of surface scratches, nothing too major. We've got some missing teeth on the rear there, you can see. We've got the THQ insert and a nice full colour manual. Oh, we're moving into the E's, right? Oh no, we already have done. Ignore me. Evil Twin. Cyprian's Chronicles. This is quite a beloved title. A lot of people like this game. I enjoyed what I played of it. I wouldn't... maybe it would have been better back in the day, but I wouldn't say it's a classic. It felt very kind of FPS-y. Not a smooth experience. But yeah, not a bad game of what I played again, like I say. Evil Twin, really good condition. Evolution, the World of Sacred Device. Decent condition copy of it. A little bit just sort of old paper looking, like parchment paper. I don't know why. Disc pretty much bang on again. There's a couple of little scuffs, but yeah, not too bad overall on that disc. Missing teeth on the rear for some reason. Manual has been used at some point. You can see the general sort of foldage to that you get from sort of panning through it. Here's a nice one, Evolution 2, quite a collectible one. That is a mark that possibly could be washed off, I'm not sure now. I think it is a little bit of a scuff there. Again, for this being such a rare title, little mark there. Might want to swap the case on this one, but all of these are original cases. None of them are fake cases or anything like that. Perfect condition disc, man. It looks like it hasn't been played. This is a game that I would have liked to have played had I got around to it. Like both of the Evolution games, I've heard great things about. And I think there's some good VMU integration as well. Or at least, is this the game where you can play? I think you can copy your save over from the first game to the second. Here's Exhibition of Speed. I thought it was a crack, but I'm not sure on that. I think it's just a scratch to the front of the case. Generally good condition overall. No teeth missing. Disc is almost immaculate. I'd say a 9 out of 10. Manual and insert, of course. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Maybe an 8 actually for the front of the case. Then we've got F1 Racing, which is that game that's horrible sitting on your shelf because it's the only game that's back to front for some stupid reason. We've got a couple of missing teeth in the front there, which is unfortunate because the case actually looks pretty good condition. Oh, it doesn't actually. Scrap that. There's a bit of a crack there. You can see sort of like someone's tried to open it weirdly or pressed too hard there with the thumb. It's like a thumb-shaped crack. Not sure why. Disc is in the rear, which is fine. Disc is perfect. Manual looks perfect. I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves with these cases. I do like the cases because I love the Dreamcast and the uniformity of the blue. But that where the spine insert sort of folds over is dead annoying. We've got F1 World Grand Prix Dreamcast. Perfect condition by the looks of it. Case is immaculate. Disc has a couple of little blemishes. Sort of not scratches, but like little line marks. Manual looks great too. Not the same game, is it? No, it's F1 World Grand Prix 2 for Dreamcast. Again, this looks like one that came sealed, to be honest. I bought sealed. Yeah. Immaculate disc, never been played. Manual, I believe, just looked like that when I bought it. So even though there's like a little bit of a scuff there, don't ask me why, but you can buy sealed games, unseal them, and yeah, not like it's perfect condition when you actually get it because the manual's probably been jumping around inside. Sometimes you buy brand new games, even back in the day, like from play.com, and I'd open them and the teeth would be missing or broken. A lot of that's probably down to the post, but obviously if you're rattling the thing around, the disc is sitting on those flimsy teeth. It can happen. Oh, this is an iconic game to me. This cover, Yu Suzuki. I think this may have been sealed as well, just the way it feels. It just feels brand new, this one. And this is F355 Challenge. Passion Rosa, or Rossa, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. graphically amazing, this game. I don't know if you can on this one, but I think it was on the Dreamcast version. There was a time attack thing that you could upload to like actually take your VMU to one of these actual arcade machines and insert it. Was that Shenmue actually? It might even be Shenmue. I think on the Japanese version of Shenmue, the passport has an F355 challenge icon, and you could actually upload your times to your copy of Shenmue for some reason. Fighting Force 2, that is immaculate, by the way, mint condition. Fighting Force 2, game I owned as a kid, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed this game despite what you might think. That's the disc in it, yeah, just how the lines are going there. I thought that might be little marks, but they're actually part of the print. I really enjoyed this, single player. I know a lot of people poo-pooed on it because it wasn't as good as the original Fighting Force, of which I would have loved to have played. I wish that was released on the Saturn. I remember my friend had it on the PS1 and we really enjoyed that sort of like a 3D Streets of Rage. But that's just a single player game with guns and stuff, but quite a fun game, I think. Fighting Vipers 2 already looks to be a really nice condition. I think they're just marks that could be wiped off, perhaps not that one. Okay, so we're missing some teeth in the front. Rear is perfect, teeth wise. Disc has just very minor scuffy line things again, like nothing at all really. It'd be pretty petty to moan about that, I think. And a nice manual. Good condition overall, or great condition. I don't know if that is an option on eBay. I'm trying to go for the eBay sort of condition rankings. Flagan Brothers Episode 1. Oh, we jumped into Fs, I don't know if I ever said that. Almost coming to the end of the Fs actually. Mint condition. This could have been a game that was sealed, just the way it feels and looks. Manual perfect condition. Hate this bloody thing. There we go. Mint condition. Why won't you close, you little bastard? There we go. Freestyle scooter. Got one of those slippy, slidey front covers there. Disc is immaculate. Manual in the rear. Again, looks like a game that's never been played. It possibly never has. Right, that's section 4 done. Okay, section 5 time now. Here is Fur Fighters. Immaculate condition. I think I do remember getting this one sealed. Yeah. Try and fly through this a little bit more now. So yeah, really nice condition. Perfect mint condition. That has literally been unsealed. Probably played through actually, because I really enjoyed Fur Fighters. I think I played the demo on one of those official Dreamcast demo discs back in the day. I always wanted it, never owned it, but then picked it up subsequently, so it's probably been played once. Gauntlet Legends. A few little blemishes that probably could just be wiped off there, more like fingerprinty marks. The cover, the case was a little bit maybe just dirty. Maybe just one of those games I just bought and just put straight on my shelf, not really gave a polish to. So it could just be relieved with a bit of polish, that one. We've got Giant Killers, or GK Giant Killers. Case looks decent. There's just one little mark on the front cover there. Nothing major at all. All the teeth intact. Quite a difficult disc to pull out then, actually. Perfect condition. Disc again. Perfect rear. We've even got the little insert there at the back. Nice colourful crispy manual. Gigawing. So yeah, we moved into the G's then just. Really nice condition. There's just one tiny little mark there actually. and then obviously that shelving sort of mark that I talked about. Yeah, impressed with this one. I like that actually, that rear of the insert actually being printed on. Not very often you see that. There's a pigeon on my roof you might hear trotting around. Yeah, really nice condition manual. Looks like it's been fanned through a couple of times, but honestly I'd probably put that down as a mint condition Gigawing. Here's Grand Theft Auto 2 with the sticker on the front there. There's a little bit of a mark, a couple of marks there, but at least with the sticker you can see that these are original cases, not been replaced. Oh, okay, so that's the first case that's missing a hinge. So obviously with the sticker, that is one that might be difficult to replace the case on. So that's a shame actually. Yeah, that's the only case here so far that's missing. Why is the disc in the back? Was the teeth missing too? Let me see. No, the disc could be in the front. I think it is just because of the hinge there. I decided to put it in the back. So if you know that that's missing a hinge, obviously you just open the back and the case never comes off, because it is quite stuck on there still, the front cover, despite it missing a hinge. Disc looks fine, just a mark that you could wipe off, I'm sure. Manual and insert. Almost a brand new manual by the feel of it. So good condition overall actually, apart from the hinge there, that would be a great condition copy. We've got Grandia 2, which I know is a fairly expensive game, I think. It was at the time, it was more expensive than some of the other games I was picking up. A couple of those little tiny hairline surface scratches, but nothing too major on that. Did note there we're missing one tooth, the front there, but not enough to stop me from pointing the disc in the front. Complete in the back. Yeah, nice manual as well. Just got those sort of bent marks on the thing there where it's sat against these tabs, almost like there, if you know what I mean. It's sat bloody things. Okay, there we go. Not perfect actually on that. I probably could have done a better job of the back insert there on the spine. Gunbird 2 is next. Love this game. Great little game, this great little shmup that you can actually pick up on the Switch, or at least you could do if it's still available. I think it's part of those big collections as well, the arcade gallery Capcom. I'm sure it's on there as well, along with like that helicopter game, Under the Feet and that sort of stuff. Yeah, really nice condition overall. Probably near mint, that one, Gunbird 2. Headhunter, one of the games I owned back in the day. I've tried to mention that actually. I don't know if that bears any meaning to anything, because two really good condition of that. There is a few little marks. That could just be something that could be wiped off on disc 1 there. I forgot that this was even a 2-disc game, to be honest. Headhunter. Really enjoyed this adventure back in the day. Look at that, man. Every time. Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Nice Capcom arena-based fighter. Not my cup of tea, personally. I think this may have even been sealed when I bought it. It just feels... It may even still smell brand new, to be honest. That is like absolutely mint condition. The Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Hidden and Dangerous. This is a game that I owned back in the day. One that I wasn't too fond of, actually. I don't know why I decided to buy this as a child. I do remember enjoying some aspects of it, but I think it took like about an hour to load. And going prone and all that sort of stuff, I wasn't great at it, to be honest. Hydro Thunder, a game I wish I owned as a kid, but I didn't. A little bit of a crack on the back there. Not one that you can feel, actually. Spine maybe not as bright or colourful as it should be. I'm not sure if anyone can compare that to their own copy. Disc is immaculate. Case is almost immaculate apart from that crack. Manual's nice. Yeah, a really nice condition of Hydro Thunder. Incoming, we're into the eyes now. I don't even think I mentioned the H's, to be honest, but we're flying a bit now. Incoming. And that does have a few little scratches on it. Again, surface scratches, nothing deep. But yeah, surprised by that. I think I had the demo. I think I played a demo with that as a kid. A couple little teeth missing there. Not enough for me to move it to the back. It is in the front there. But yeah, this is a game that I picked up since. Didn't own the actual game as a kid. I don't think I did anyway. I mean, the cover looks really, really familiar, but I think that's more just because I played it quite a bit on the demo. Iron Aces, high-speed World War II aerial combat, or just Iron Aces for short. The case looks okay. There's a few little minor little marks on the front there. The insert has a bit of a fold there. Hopefully you can see. Disc is maybe about a 7 out of 10. There's a little scratch there, just the surface one. And to be fair, the other marks I'm seeing, I'm pretty sure you could just wipe with a cloth. It does have a sticker in there for some reason, 235, obviously pre-owned. In fact, there's some pen on the disc there, some sort of permanent marker. I can't quite make out what it says. And yeah, there's the manual there. It could just be something that the eBay seller did himself, just something that you might not know. Someone might have swapped the disc, if you know what I mean, one of those things, sort of mark like, oh, well, you've sent me this game back, but this isn't the actual disc because I actually wrote in it. Got you. Or something like that. Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. A little crack on the back of the box here. Can't really feel it. Apparently includes music by The Offspring, which, yeah, I don't know which songs, but interesting, all the same. A few little inserts there, actually. Acclaim, these Acclaim ones have all got that same Acclaim booklet in, haven't they? Quick look at the disc. So there was missing teeth in the front, so it's in the back. Disc is, yeah, about a 9, maybe an 8 if I had to be really picky. A few little marks on it, but nothing major. And that is section 5 done. Right, section 6 now of 11-ish, kind of 12, but we'll say 11 sections. We just got into the J's. I forgot to mention that again with Jeremy McGrath. Here is Jet Set Radio. Crack on the rear there. This is a game that I owned as a kid, but sacrilege, I had a burnt copy of this. This was like when it was quite prevalent to have burnt copies that you bought for £5 off your mate. And that Utopia disc with the reindeer. If anyone remembers what I'm on about there. I'm pretty sure I bought this sealed and brand new, so I'm not sure why it's got a crack on the back. Unfortunate there, but other than that crack, that is a mint copy of Jet Set Radio. And actually the burnt copy of Jet Set Radio that I owned as a kid was actually Jet Grind Radio, American version. But it'll always be Jet Set Radio to me still. Probably more so because of the Jet Set Radio Future that I played a ton of on the Xbox. Jimmy White's 2 Cue Ball. Game I owned as a kid. Actually, I was quite fond of pool and snooker as a kid. Dad's part of a snooker team, so yeah, got into snooker through my dad basically. Really fun games actually, because they're not just snooker games. You'll see there's also darts and checkers. So So some good variety on that actually, and it's a decent snooker pool game. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This I remember being one of the more expensive games when I was collecting. You sort of had like the sort of £5 games that you could just snap up really quick. 10, 12 to £15 games, you know, is probably the average that I was buying most of the collection of Dreamcast back in the day. But then there was the odd game like this, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this is actually really nice condition, close to mint condition. That was probably more in the sort of £40–50 price range, so it's always felt a bit more of an expensive game, that one, despite probably £40 these days being a decent price for a Dreamcast game. Here is KO the Kangaroo, one that I remember buying sealed, mint condition. Again, probably never been played. I mean, I say that, I do remember playing this actually. I played it once. The manual's actually got a little bit of a bend there. That's probably just me closing it after checking it and getting it sort of trapped in the, the thing there without realising. But that is a brand new copy of KO the Kangaroo. It's just been played once. Okay, so not brand new, but brand new. This one's weird. So this was a hard one to find at the time. I don't know if it still is. But this is Kiss Psycho Circus The Nightmare Child. I remember struggling to find a copy of this when I was collecting, at least for a reasonable price. And probably the reason why I kept this and wasn't too fussed, that the case had sort of this weird, almost like someone's had a knife and they've sort of, I don't know if maybe they sort of grew out of touch with Kiss's music or something. I don't know. Did one of the singers get accused of doing something? And they're like, "Eh, you bastards. I'll never forgive you." I don't know what goes through kids' minds. Or, I don't know, maybe there just happened to be like a tiny little stone on a table. And maybe someone was using this with a bit of polish to clean a table. I don't know, but there's... I don't know what it is. It's like just a weird circular scratch on that. Other than that, that's perfectly fine, good condition on that. Lehman's 24 Hours. Case has seen better days, but not cracked. No missing T4 hinges. Disc is one of the worse ones actually that I own, despite it generally still looking okay. It's probably about a 7 out of 10. There's a few marks more so in the middle there, so I don't know if that means it's been... I don't think it's been resurfaced. I think you'd be able to tell more clear that had gone through a resurfacing. I think it's just general wear and tear on that disc. But probably about a 7. I'd rate that as a 7. Manual's fine. The rear insert's a little bit folded, a little bit bent, you can see there. So yeah, not the best condition copy of that game, but also far from the worst. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Moving into the owls. I don't know how many owls we've just done. I keep forgetting to say. Crack on the back here. This is a game that I own, so crack is probably my fault. Like I say, stacking these in a carry bag, taking them around my nan's. Not the best way to transport Dreamcast cases. But all the inserts are there. I wouldn't ever lose anything. Like I say, always quite good condition in my own games. Looney Tunes Space Race. Really nice condition. Front insert, a little bit dirty looking. Disc is probably about an 8.5. Virgin on a 9 out of 10. So, decent condition copy of the game here. Manual. Pretty much perfect, nice colour manual. Nice copy. Magforce Racing. This is one I owned as a kid. Oh, we're into the M's, are we already? That's good to hear. A little bit dirty on the top there, could do with a wipe. The rear, almost immaculate. I'm going to sneeze, sorry guys. I've got some teeth missing. Maybe a little bit of dust on this one. Don't worry, I didn't sneeze onto the actual product there. I turned my head. Not that you could see, but I did. I promise. Manual's all good. Nice condition of Magforce Racing. Then we've got Mac and X. Fun game. Controls a tiny bit awkward, I found, when I played it. Not a game I had as a kid, but I enjoyed what I played. Quite a difficult game. Manual is a little bit ripped, you can actually see on the spine there. That's probably the first manual that's, well, apart from that European Super League, it's the first manual that's actually got any damage to it. Right, moving on to Marvel vs. Capcom next. It's a clash of superheroes. Owned this back in the day. Love this game. Not that I'm amazing at 2D fighters, but I really enjoyed this game. Disc is perfect. Case is almost perfect. Manual is perfect. Honestly, really nice condition copy of Marvel vs. Capcom there. Just that one little mark on the case. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I made sure when I was buying this to get a really nice condition copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I think at the time this was about a 70 quid game. I remember it being one of the remaining games I needed anyway. It was like one of the last ones I picked up. I don't know the price on this anymore. There is some sort of surface scratches there. Yeah, no deep scratches, just a few little surface ones on that. Generally looks okay. We'll just notice the hinge is coming out there, but it isn't broken. At least it's not broken yet. There we go, we're in. Just displaced it a little bit. So yeah, generally a really nice condition copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 here. Case is pretty much spot on. Teeth are all there. Manual looks great. 9 out of 10 copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 there. Did I say the disc was a little bit? Yeah, maybe an 8.5. MDK2. This I owned as a kid. Enjoyable game. Nice variety actually. I remember the first stage is like you're just falling, aren't you? Kind of like a shmup from memory. I might be wrong on that. There's some inserts here. There's an insert on DC UK, which is probably where I heard good things about this game from, so maybe that was a bit of a plug. I'm sure it got like a 9 out of 10 in DC UK. I probably wouldn't rate it as a 9 out of 10, but it is a good game. MSR, I remember buying this brand new. Another game that I owned as a copy as a kid. Put so much time into MSR. But yeah, I kind of regret getting copied versions of games, to be honest. But then again, this is an immaculate mint condition copy of MSR. So this is pretty much how the game would be with seal. It just happens to have been unsealed by me, just because when I was collecting, I was like, I may have picked up some cheap sealed games, but they were for me, if you know what I mean. So I unsealed them. I've probably played that game, to be honest, like that, because if you've got the real game, I don't even know if I've got the copy of that anymore, copied disc, but I definitely play that again because I love MSR. And that is the end of the 6th section. Right, now I thought that was past the halfway mark, but actually guys, I don't know if I miscounted. So we've done 6 sections of the shelf. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more sections to go, so strap in. Right, this is Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 1, featuring Defender, Joust, Robotron, Bubbles, Sinistar and Defender 2. 6 great games. Looks to be really nice condition. Immaculate disc. Amazing condition. Mint condition, guys, on that one. Millennium Soldier Expendable. Love this game. One that I didn't own as a kid, but I remember smashing the demo over and over. That's when demos were like games to kids. Like, you could play the demo probably more so than the actual full game. I remember playing demos, smashing them, picking up the actual game, and not playing the main game as much, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was a really nice condition copy of Millennium Soldier. Moho, I remember this was an expensive game. I think I probably paid about 70 quid for this. I don't know how much it is now. Hopefully more, because I sort of saw these as investments. I mean, I was really had the collector's bug when I was going for my full Dreamcast set. I did a full Dreamcast set before my full Saturn set. But yeah, part of the joy of these games is the collecting. That's a really nice condition, mint, near mint, I'd say, Moho. But a lot of the joy is in the collecting, not so much the games themselves. Like Moho, I actually enjoyed playing. I thought that was quite underrated. I had a lot of fun with that, like the marble sort of feeling of that game. And yeah, kind of had almost an arcade sort of feel to it, with its missions, like do so many of this and do so many of that, and it was kind of like a race as well around the course. Quite a cool game actually, but I know it was critically panned. Not one of people's favourites, but I enjoyed it. But I did get a chance to try it. I would never have played that game if it wasn't for the collecting, because I bought it, I gave it a go. I gave pretty much all of these games a go as part of what I wanted to do when I bought them. But again, most of the joy, that's a really nice condition copy of Mortal Kombat Gold. I think that may have been brand new. Part of the joy, or the majority of the joy, was in the actual collecting. Which is the same with anything. If you're collecting stuff like cards, say Pokemon cards or stickers, you know what I mean? It's not the sticker itself that you're putting into a sticker album that you get the joy out of. It's like seeing the magazine, or the sticker album rather, slowly get filled, and it's like it's a goal then to get the complete collection. And when you put that last sticker in, the joy you get from having a full sticker album. But then, in the same sort of metaphor, as it were, once you've finished the collection, it kind of just gets put on a shelf, right? And you may occasionally pull a game out that you kind of want to play, but a lot of the joy has suddenly been dissipated once you finish the collection. I never ever thought I would sell these games, because as I was collecting them, that's a really nice condition copy of Mr. Drill as well, by the way. As I was collecting them, and the Dreamcast is like, it's hard to say between the Dreamcast and the Saturn which is my favourite, but the Dreamcast has more of my favourite games on it. So whether that makes it my favourite console of all time, probably. So collecting for it, and I know a lot of the games that I ended up collecting for it, this is a game I owned back in the day actually, I quite enjoyed. Not as much as Tony Hawk's, but I did quite enjoy this, and I quite enjoyed the music on MTV Skateboarding. Manual's seen better days. Yeah, there was a lot of filler on the Dreamcast. Not as much as other consoles, of course. And obviously, you're not going to enjoy every single game on every single console, but collecting for what is potentially my favourite console of all time with the SEGA Dreamcast, so much joy. And the fact that the games have only gone up in price is just another like sweetener really for going about collecting in the first place. It's very difficult to gauge if prices of these things are going to keep going up. Like, I've heard two contrasting sort of arguments. That's a nice condition copy of NBA 2K as well. If I see anything, because as I'm talking now, guys, I'll mention it. But if I don't say anything, generally really nice copies of these games. Kind of forgot what I was saying actually, might come back to me. This is NBA 2K2. Oh, I was on about the prices of games one time. This is missing some teeth, and the disc isn't as great as some of the other discs. I'd probably put that down as a 6. It could be wiped. I might put that disc in the back actually. It's a bit, unless the back is missing. No, let's put that in the back. The back is nice. So yeah, what I was going to say was it's quite difficult to know where the price of these games are going to go. Are they going to keep going up and up and up and up forever and ever? It's going to hit a wall at some point, because the people that love collecting for this console are people that grew up with it, right? So once we start getting older, die out, you sort of Gen X or whatever they're called, Gen Zs. I don't even know what the term is these days. This is NBA Hoops, by the way. So far, so good. Shaq on the front cover there. Yeah, really nice condition. Those kids didn't grow up with a Dreamcast. I mean, most of them probably don't even know what a Dreamcast is. A lot of them don't even know what bloody SEGA is, to be honest. They only know Sonic. And maybe Yakuza, or Like a Dragon. Maybe that's like the only thing that they attribute to SEGA these days. Not so much the consoles. So those sort of people aren't going to be that bothered about collecting these games, right? So once the sort of collecting bug of these systems sort of dies out, like I say, people get older, some missing teeth on the back there, NBA Showtime. Yeah, I can only see prices go down, but then again, you've got the contrasting argument that a lot of these games aren't going to be in this nicer condition forever. The discs are going to get rotten and stuff like that, so there might be, you know, a supply and demand in terms of some of these might not be fit for purpose in, say, 20 years' time. A lot of the discs that people have, if they've got scratches, deep scratches, and been sat on the shelves, and you get that sort of disc rot that just occasionally happens with certain games. This is the annoying one that hasn't got the logo on the side there. Horrendous. NFL Blitz 2000. Never been into American football, but I did actually own this one as a kid, and we had so much fun. Not really knowing what the plays and all that sort of stuff is, but just mowing people down. That is a really fun game to play with friends. So yeah, it's very difficult to gauge, I think, whether things are going to go up or down in value, gaming wise. Like I say, you might have less demand, but then you might have less supply, because the state of these games are going to get worse and worse over time. So any actual working condition games, or games in conditions such as the ones I've got, I know there's a big crack there as I say that. But yeah, other than that crack, that is a decent copy of NFL Quarterback Club 2000. But I'm basically just saying that you might have less and less of these on the market to buy. And especially once they hit collectors' hands, there already is like a supply and demand thing, right? Because all the collectors have these, and any new collectors trying to find these are having a more difficult time finding games, especially, again, like I say, in these conditions. So any new collector that's actually trying to pick up condition game, I mean, that is almost immaculate. It has got some blemishes on there though, some sort of could be wiped off. NHL 2K. You're gonna have a tough time finding games like this in the future. So there is two sides to the argument. Nightmare Creatures 2 looks like this was originally sealed, because this is absolutely immaculate. Perfect case, perfect manual, perfect disc. That's possibly the best condition game so far, I would say. Amazing. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Where do you stand? Do you reckon these are going to keep going up in value? Or do you reckon the wall, are we already getting quite close to the ceiling on these prices? I mean, there's, on the one hand, when I bought them, some of them felt expensive, but then seeing the prices skyrocket today, I mean, investment-wise, an amazing investment. Obviously, tripled my money basically when I go to sell these, if not more, in for some certain titles. But are they going to keep going up, or how close do we think we are to the ceiling on prices? Right, so that is section 7 done. Again, we've got some odd bits and bobs I've got on top of the shelf of the games that we're currently looking at. So we've got new Powered Generation 1, SEGA Powered Demo Disc, Dreamcast Year 1. Great little book from Andrew Dickinson. Highly recommend that if you can still get that. This was an awesome book for collectors back in the day. This is the Dreamcast Junkyard Ultimate Collector's Guide. I may have actually used this. Did I use this? Yeah, see, I did actually use this back in the day. So, I mean, that might be a decent thing to give away with this collection. I don't know, but no, I'm going to keep that for my own personal memories, because I did actually go through that and mark off the games as I was collecting them. That was a pretty neat tool. Might even be one of the few people to actually use the book and rather just put it on the shelf. I actually used it as intended. And here is Dreamcast Year 2. Really cool book. Some nice postcards in there as well, especially the Shenmue one, which I've actually already moved to my Shenmue collection. But yeah, really nice little A5 sized book there. And the Dreamcast Junkyard. They did do an updated version of that, but then it got quickly shut down from Sega. That is the original. Right, let's move into section 8 of my Dreamcast games. We're currently in the O's. Yeah, so the last game we looked at was Nightmare Creatures 2, and now we are into Outrigger. Cool Sega AM2 game. Never owned it back in the day. Honestly, I'm shocked at the condition of some of my games here. That is absolutely... This may have even been sealed, guys. It's stunning. That is a stunning condition copy of Outrigger. Here is Pen Pen Triathlon, that it says when you boot the game up. I love this game. This I had not at launch. I don't know if it was a launch title. It may have come a couple of weeks later, but I remember picking this up from play.com. And honestly, guys, it's... If you've never played Pen Pen, I don't know how you... I think it's probably a Marmite type of game, but I love it. There's only 4 tracks, but the concept of holding your finger to sort of go speeding faster and faster, like there's like a rhythm to it, and then there's like sort of a small platforming section, there's swimming sections, and the general running, not running, like sliding on your belly, like a bobsleigh almost. Really fun game. Here we've got Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1 and 2. Now, obviously you might not recognise this case. This was custom made, slip cover, sort of in that period when, I mean, these Facebook groups are still probably big. I just don't really go on them, but these people that make sleeves and different cases and stuff. None of my cases are thingy or whatever, but I did pick up this sleeve just to house both of my Phantasy Star Online games. Just thought it was cool at the time. It has sort of faded, conditions faded there over time. I don't know if that's a sun thing or it's just an ink in the air thing. But yeah, that was bluer than it was. But it's still a nice little sleeve to house both of these together. So this is the original Phantasy Star Online. This is what I had back in the day. This is my own personal copy of Phantasy Star Online. I've played this for literally days, if not weeks. Well, it will be weeks, because it was like at least 200 hours. I don't know if I'm just revealing anything there with my access key and stuff. Hopefully not. But also got the Sonic Adventure 2 trial. All the Phantasy Star Online goodness is there. Yeah, really cool stuff. Trial. Copy of the game there. Oops. Of Sonic Adventure 2 rather. So complete. I hate this, man. Absolutely hate these inserts sometimes. There we go. I'll put that back in the sleeve in a moment. And then a game that I didn't own as a kid, version 2. Not quite sure why. I didn't buy this, considering like how into it I was. Like I even used the keyboard for texting and stuff. Again, there's some serial keys. Might even be a couple of serial keys there. I don't know. I can't quite recall if any of this is actually revealing. I feel like you might need, I don't know how would you have your own unique copy of the game? I don't know. And there's actually a copy of Dream Key 3.0 in there. It's usually when you've got a thick manual, for some reason it messes with the spinal. But yeah, both of those copies of Phantasy Star Online, pristine. Maybe some minor marks and blemishes. I don't know if anyone noticed on camera there, or I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned, but very nice condition copies of them. Planet Ring. I do feel like I own the big box of this Planet Ring. Not quite sure where it is though. Maybe it's in the loft. It just hasn't even been scratched, that. There's another thing under there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I do own the microphone and the big box on that. I don't know if that's a Sally. Let me just check on me roof things up there. I've got like some stuff above my shelves. I don't think it's up there, you know. I've got Alien Front Online because I've got all the US exclusives as well that weren't released in PAL territories. That's another section of my collection I'm going to sell off at some point. But let's just focus on these PAL ones. I don't know about Planet Ring. I may have the box for that, but I don't really want to be going in the loft really at the moment. So hopefully that's not a hard sell that it needs to come with the box, because I can't even remember if it came with the box. I can't think off the top of my head. I feel like it did do with the microphone, but I'm not 100%. Plasma sword. Honestly, it's like brand new, that is. That may have even been one that was sealed. I bought sealed originally. Pod 2, multiplayer online. That's an online game. I don't know if this still works. Yeah, I'm sure it still works, does it? Pod 2. Is there a single player to this? It's not one that I think I've ever tried to play. Pod 2. Not like Mag Force. I did really enjoy Mag Force racing, but Pod 2, couldn't tell you. It does say 1 to 2 players online and 1 to 2 players, so yeah. Despite it's being called multiplayer online, it's not an online only title. I suppose that would be quite sacrilege back in the Dreamcast days. We weren't quite at that stage yet of gaming. Power Stone, this is the game, the copy that I picked up on release, launch day. Still in pristine condition, despite absolutely obliterating Power Stone back in the day. Loved it. One of my favourite Dreamcast games. Had such a great launch, didn't it, the Dreamcast, with Sonic Adventure and Power Stone and SEGA Rally, Virtua Fighter 3, Blue Stinger, like I mentioned, despite me taking it back, and more. Great launch of a console. What am I on? Power Stone 2. Tiny little scuff in the centre there. I'm not sure if that means it's been resurfaced. Like, people might be able to tell or not, I'm not sure. But the disc's fine, absolutely fine. Looks great. Power Stone 2 manual, perfect. Really nice condition copy of Power Stone 2. Then we've got Project Justice Rival Schools 2, which I know is a really expensive game these days. This was one of those games that was like in the £70 mark when I was picking it up. Oh, that's disappointing. Let me just check that. So not the best copy of the game that I thought it was. And the way it looks from the front, the cover and everything, it looks amazing. But the disc is, again, a little bit rough in the middle. So could have been resurfaced at some point, I'm not sure. The disc looks great though, by the way. Unfortunately now I just noticed there's a very tiny tear to the front cover there, and a very tiny fold there. I didn't even notice. It looks so pristine on the front, but yeah, you can see there's a tiny rip there to the front cover there, which is annoying because this is a rather expensive game these days. Manual is pristine, fat, nice fat manual, no bends or anything on that. So yeah, it's literally just that front insert, and the disc is probably like an 8 out of 10. Pro Pinball Trilogy. Going to the end of the P's. Pristine. Potentially one that was brand new when I bought it. Right, next up is Psychic Force 2012. This is one that I owned back in the day. Quite enjoyed. Not the best fighter, but a unique fighter actually, with the the flight mechanic. I suppose it is a flighting game. Nice pun. Another Acclaim with all the... is this Acclaim? It says Taito, but did Acclaim publish it? That is strange. Why is there Acclaim inserts? What? I don't know. Maybe it is an Acclaim game? I'm pretty sure Acclaim would be all over that if it was. Oh, it does say distributed by Acclaim Entertainment. Okay, interesting. But yeah, near mint condition copy of Psychic Force 2012. Quake 3 Arena, a little crack there, and a rather large crack there actually, I've just noticed. Disc is perfect. It's a game I had burnt back in the day. Yeah, nice manual. Everything else is nice condition. It's literally just that front piece that's got a bit of a crack on there. So if you really care to get that replaced, you could just get the front hinge thing replaced, I suppose, crack wise. And then finishing off section 8, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more sections to do. So we're over halfway, guys, if you've stuck this out so far. We've got Racing Simulation Monaco Grand Prix. Ooh, why did I put that under the M's? No, I didn't. Oh, this is under R's, but I'm just looking at the game that follows next that you'll find out in a minute. Begins with Monaco. I've put it there because the other one is Monaco. It's the sequel. So that is the one exception. I put them together. Even though, you know what? I'm going to show it both of these now because this is a daft one. I remember this being a daft one. So look at the covers there. You've got Racing Simulator Monaco Grand Prix, and you've got Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. So this looks like the sequel, right? When they're together. But I'm pretty sure they're the exact same game. I feel like they are listed separately on like a checklist, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same game. Just one of them, look at that, it's literally the same game, I think. Just one of them was maybe released in, just knock the hinge off there, sorry. One of them was released in France or whatever, I think, like that, whereas like this is the English version, I believe. Manual's fine. A little bit of blemishing on the back of the insert there. Yeah, nice condition copy of that. And while we're at it, I'll just show this one. So this is the sequel. Potentially, I don't know if it is or not, but I'm pretty sure it's the same game. There's like one little mark on that, but other than that, that's a pretty pristine copy of Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. May or may not be the same game. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there and go for a breather. And even though you won't notice, this is when I come back to continue the recording, it's going to be me a few hours later. Okay, we're back from a little breather, And I've realised actually after, there's a third version of this game. So you've got Racing Simulation 2 Monaco Grand Prix Online. So this is the online version of that same game you've just seen twice, I believe. So I don't know if it's like the same game again for like a third time, but with an online mode, or it's solely online, I'm not sure. But in terms of condition, apart from that little bend that I've literally just done there, absolutely perfect. Almost feels and looks brand new to me. So yeah, another cracking condition game. Here is Railroad Tycoon 2. Feels a bit lighter actually, so I wonder if we've got a really small manual. Disc condition wise, there's a tiny little mark there, but other than that, it's a near perfect looking game. We've got a couple of inserts. I believe these are two different ones. And yeah, a really tiny manual for Railroad Tycoon 2, which you would have expected to have a more complex manual for like a what they call like a strategy simulation sort of type game. There is a little bit of a, not a crack, but like a big long scratch. Hopefully some of that shows up there. Oh, one of my favourites, Rayman 2, The Great Escape. There's the spine and the rear. Really nice condition. This is a game that I owned back in the day personally. I'm missing some teeth unfortunately. But we are complete in the back there with the teeth. Again, just fantastic condition disc. Not really a single mark on that. And there's the manual. Nice full colour manual for Rayman 2. Awesome platformer. 3D platformer. Here is Ready to Rumble Boxing. This was another launch title actually. Forgot about this game. Owned this at launch. I literally rinsed the demo kiosks that they had dotted around. We had one in our local Odeon cinema, and Ready to Rumble was, apart from Sonic Adventure, which I absolutely rinsed, Ready to Rumble 2 was the second game on that demo kiosk that I really fell in love with. Just such a fun game. You wouldn't think boxing would be such a great game, but great game. And then here is Ready to Rumble Round 2. I noticed there's a little crack there, right in the middle of the case there. A few little marks and stuff. This was a game that I had to buy when I was collecting. Nice little Michael Jackson silhouette in the background there. Really cool game. Nice to own actually. I was going to say, like, as a Michael Jackson fan and collector, this could be something that possibly I would like to have saved, but we'll get rid of it. It's fine. I like how it says 5 secret celebrity characters, and then obviously you can see Michael Jackson in the back there. So we got some missing teeth in the front. Disc is in the back. Ooh, one of the more scratchy looking games that I've got. Yeah, quite a few little surface scratches on there. Could be one slightly deeper scratch there, but generally that looks okay. I would give that a 6.5, 7, and that's like my real strict rating. Manual is fine. Another fun game. I remember playing that actually, and there's a big emphasis on the training aspect. I remember like quite a few training mini games. Oh, this is a really great game. I fell in love with this game actually. This isn't one that I owned as a kid. I picked this up when I was collecting. Really nice condition as well. This could have, oh no, I was going to say sealed. There is a couple of tiny hairline cracks there to the back of the case. But I love this game. It really surprised me, actually. I followed a little bit of a guide just to get into it because I didn't want to miss anything, and understand sort of the there's like a kind of like a crafting system in there, but it's more like you can improve your armor and that sort of stuff if you're into like your Diablos and that kind of a game. That's what Lotus War is. Red Dog, another amazing game. We've got a great stack of games here, actually. I owned this back in the day. Red Dog, didn't know what to expect. It was cool collecting for Dreamcast, actually, because like, you know, even as a child, collecting the games that I bought from like play.com back in the day when these were like relevant. But a game like Red Dog, I probably wouldn't have normally picked up something like that, but just because I was so into the Dreamcast and like every game seemed exciting, I loved it. I love that it's like, if you've ever played that last mission in the first Halo where you've got the track on the Warthog and you're trying to escape out of the exploding building, and just the way that that's designed, that is like literally Red Dog, but the entire game is Red Dog in that style. So you've got like a lot of obstacle courses, really, really fun. Here's Resident Evil 2. Classic, should be 2 discs, right? Got the Leon disc, which is pristine. We are missing a couple of teeth there, unfortunately. This is a game that I owned as a child. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I think it's worth a mention because, like I say, some of this video is for my own memories. The Claire disc has a couple of little marks in the middle there. Again, I don't know if any of this actually shows up on camera, but hopefully it does, and then you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Which is funny because I feel like I always used to play the Leon side of the game. But yeah. Then we've got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Never actually played Resident Evil 3 even to this day. Like the remake, or the there's one tooth missing there, by the way. Or this version. Never played this version. Never played the remake. It is a game. I probably would play the remake, but it is a game that I want to get around to eventually. Code Veronica, my favourite Resident Evil game. I would say even to this day, but 7 and 8 in VR, and 4 for that matter in VR, are incredible games. Like some of the best VR experiences I've had. But they kind of, even though they are Resident Evil games, they don't really feel like Resident Evil in a sense to me because of the first person aspect. I suppose 4 in a sense is more Resident Evil feeling because it did start out as a third person Resident Evil game, but playing it in VR in first person, it's just unreal. You really need to play Resident Evil 4 on the PSVR 2. It's such an amazing game because I didn't really like it when it first came out on the game, on the Wii or the game. I think we played it on the GameCube, I think, originally. I wasn't a fan of the change in style. I liked the way that the camera changed. Those the original Resident Evil style games. I've got the Acclaim card in here. This looks pretty much perfect. Did I note a little crack somewhere? Maybe I didn't. No? Really good version of Revolt there. That is a game that I owned as a kid as well. Love that. But yeah, the remake in VR of Resident Evil 4 is a completely different experience. It's just incredible. But Code Veronica, of those kind of Resident Evil games that I mentioned, is the best game in my opinion. That's a bit of Dreamcast bias for you. Here is Rez. Just a few little scuffs to the case. Probably a case that if you were going for a real mint condition collection, you'd want to replace that one. Complete teeth. Disc is perfect. Love Rez. Love Rez in VR as well. Talking about VR. Rez Infinite. Yeah, incredible game. A little bit of worn to the front of the manual. But other than that, pretty pristine condition copy of Res. And that brings us to the last one of this pile, which is Roadsters. This looks to be in, well, I was going to say decent condition. We are missing quite a few teeth there, and there's like a little interesting dent just there in the middle of the disc. Won't affect reading, but it's just interesting that there's a tiny dent of some sorts. Not quite sure why. It must have probably hit one of the teeth somehow. Yeah, there's a little bit of a missing bit there. Not actually any of the teeth missing on the back there, but there's like a chunk, something missing. We've got all of the inserts though. This nice one, Jimmy White's and JoJo's, and we've got this registration card and a tiny manual for Roadsters. So yeah, not a bad condition overall, just that weird dent on the disc. Right. Okay, next up is San Francisco Rush 2049, or Rush 2049, as it says on the spine there. Oh my goodness, how mint condition that looks. That is absolutely pristine. This must have been a seal game. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's one tooth missing there randomly. Even seal games though, like I say, you can open them up to find like one loose tooth. And you're like, oh, it's gutting really, but the game is perfect condition. The manual looks like it's never been played, but I have actually played San Francisco Rush. Quite an enjoyable game, especially with the trying to control the car flips. Samba de Amigo. Okay, I do have the full Maraca set for this. The box is under here, so I probably should show that off. I'll get back to that. So I'll do the game, and then hopefully I remember, we'll get the Samba de Amigo box out from under this table, and I'll show you that, because the condition of the box isn't the best. The game looks to be perfect though. Perfect condition. I've actually got a photo of me receiving this game at Christmas. There's a little bit of a smear. I think you could probably wipe that off. But yeah, this was the same Christmas that I got Shenmue, because I've got a photo of me opening Shenmue for the first time as well, which is really cool. I was actually more excited at the time to open Samba de Amigo, because obviously that massive Maraca box is a completely brand new experience, and even though Shenmue is a completely brand new experience, and you know, not one that I would have ever experienced back in the day, physical Maracas was quite exciting. New peripherals, etc. So yeah, a pretty much pristine copy of Samba de Amigo. SEGA Bass Fishing, again, looks to be great condition. Owned this as a child. Got a couple of teeth missing on the case, unfortunately. Disc is spotless. Love SEGA Bass Fishing. Played this to death. Got a little bit of a weird thing there. It's gone now, so probably just needs a little bit of a wipe. I do own the fishing controller too, but not that special looking box thing that I've seen people with. We just got the, is it the Fish On controller that's shaped like a dolphin. Love that though, back in the day. Extreme Sports, this looks to be pretty much brand new. I've never owned this, but I did enjoy the demo back in the day. Pristine, ooh, excuse me. Pristine disc. That's what happens when you do so much talking. You're just caught off guard by Coca-Cola gas. Sega GT. A little bit of a crack there. Can't quite remember if I had this as a kid. Oh, there's a crack there too. You can't feel it, it's just a very minor one. Yeah, I'm not sure if I own this, and I picked this up later or not. I did own the Sega GT on Xbox, so possibly thinking about that one. I don't really have any memories of this game. Or do I? No, I don't think I do. Or do I? Not sure. That one's not too familiar. Sega Rally 2 on the other hand. This I did have as a kid. This is the copy that I swapped for Blue Stinger. Well, the other way around, if you know what I mean. Oh, there's an insert within an insert there. Not quite sure why that's there. Let me see if I can pull that out and put that in the back. Try and do that carefully. Otherwise we'll damage stuff on this video. There we go. Not quite sure why that's there, but that's a slightly different insert, which is cool. Disc is spotless. Honestly, I took such good care of my discs. I never like left them lying out on the side or anything like that. I always put them straight back in the case as soon as I'd finished with them. Nice manual, no missing teeth. Put that barber slip in there. It could just be because it's quite a thick manual in there. Does this close very well? Yeah, that's fine. Then we've got Sega Worldwide Soccer 2000. Not sure why the disc's not there. So hopefully it's in the back there. We'll put that in the front, I think. I'm not quite sure why. Looks to be fine. There are a few minor light scuffs on that disc. We've got a manual. Complete, perfect looking manual. Put that in the front. I'm not quite sure why it wasn't. But yeah, nice condition. There is a little bit of a, there is some sort of scuffy, you can't really tell because it's a white cover. And then we've got Sega Worldwide Soccer 2000 Euro Edition. Again, quite a few marks to the front of the case and the rear, but no cracks. I can tell. No teeth missing. Disc is pretty good. 9 out of 10 on the disc. If not better than a 9, to be honest. And there's the manual. And then we've got Shadow Man. This I owned as a kid. Really hard to navigate to find out where to go next. But I did enjoy what I played of Shadow Man. Don't think I got particularly far in it, or I may have got further with a guide. You can see the acclaim stuff in there and the manual. Good stuff. Right, just because I want to be thorough with this as just a general video for like A to Z of a PAL collection, I'm just going to show these, but these aren't obviously ones that I'm ever thinking of selling. These are my original as a child Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 for Dreamcast. And I mean, despite what you'll see with the box condition, these just mean so much to me. These are so well worn because, well loved, because I played these games so much. Like, I'm talking, I probably completed Shenmue 1 like 40 times on the Dreamcast as a kid. I used to play it like literally every weekend when I used to go around my nan's, or like school holidays, any day that my nan would look after me. Yeah, these would get I'd literally just play Shenmue all the time, so much so like my dad was like, don't you want to play any other game? Like, all you ever play is Shenmue. Disc 3 and Disc 4 there, the passport disc, are immaculate. Yeah, I mean, I never thought about, you know, people collect Shenmue 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast, like, or want as a holy grail, like the sealed copy of this game. I don't know. I don't think it would hold much of a special feeling to me. Like, these are the discs that I made me fall in love with this game. And a sealed copy would be nice to own as like a almost like a piece of art. That it is a copy of Shenmue sealed. Just noticed we do have one of those in here. So I guess I didn't need to steal this that was from Sonic Adventure. So yeah, I can put that back into Sonic Adventure. This is actually a better copy of that. That's been squashed over the years. This is nice and flat. We'll go with that one. So I've got a little bit of Sonic Adventure history in there. Obviously, eventually that's going to go the same way. These little things, man. But yeah, that is my favourite game ever. And yeah, I've let's just say I've taken care of that despite how much I've played it. I mean, the box has seen better days, but in, out, just constantly playing that game. So I've had to store it in this acrylic box protector just to, yeah, I don't want any more damage to come to these copies. And again, this is Shenmue 2, second favourite game of all time. Dreamcast version. The box is a bit better because I did play this, probably completed this like 20 times as a kid, but obviously Shenmue 1 got at least a year's more worth of play out of it than Shenmue 2 did, until the Xbox came along, and then that was my designated Shenmue 2 player. That's disc 3. Absolutely immaculate though. Condition on these. A tiny bit of like blacking on the staples again, like potential rust I suppose, but other than that, oh, disc 4's actually got a squiggly line on it actually, unfortunately. Not quite sure how I did that, probably like trying to put it back in and oh no. Possibly, I don't know. Or it fell out of the disc holder one day and carrying it around again, probably in a plastic bag. As a kid, you didn't really, like, I did take care of everything, but yeah, there's a tiny little mark on disc 1. It's crazy actually that the Shenmue 2 has actually got some marks on the discs over Shenmue 1, just the amount of times I played Shenmue 1. Disc 2 is fine. Just the best games ever made. Shenmue 1 and 2 are perfection. Let's put in the Shenmue 2. Put that in there. Back of there. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. Put that away. So yeah, not for sale. These two. Put that back in Sonic Adventure 1. Ooh, this is a great game, Silent Scope. This I owned as a kid. I did own quite a lot of games as a kid, believe it or not. As soon as we found like the online stores, play.com, etc., that were only just becoming a thing in the year 2000, etc. Yeah, quite lucky to be able to get loads of games as a child. Probably at least one a week or every other week. My dad was quite spoiling of me. Here's Silver, really nice condition copy. Not one that I owned as a child. I do remember a demo, because I always remember like open this door for me and then it's like, oh, I must have loosened it for you towards the start. Skies of Arcadia, a game I didn't own as a child. Wasn't into turn-based RPGs, still not, if I'm being honest. I did try to get into the Skies, probably put about 10 hours into it. I really want to enjoy it because everyone says it's an incredible game, but it's just you walk a few spaces or you fly a little bit, then you've got to fight. It's that turn-based style that I'm not a massive fan of, but I do want to be because it's such a beloved series, or I mean, they only ever made one, right? But this game, you'd think I'd say the opposite for Slave Zero, but I actually really love Slave Zero, despite the controls having to use that stick. Yeah, this was a game that, again, similar to Red Dog, just picked up on a whim. And when you're kind of forced to play games because you've got nothing else to do as a child, around my nan's, you just find the love in a lot of these random games that probably if you tried to play Slave Zero today, you'd think it's not a great game, But I hold some special memories for Slave Zero. Really enjoyed it. Here is Snow Cross Championship Racer. Quite a mouthful. Don't think I've ever played this game. And yeah, it kind of shows the game is spotless. Manual. All the teeth are intact. And there we go. We come to the end of that next section. Okay, next section, guys. We've got Snow Surfers. Quite a fun game. I never owned it, but I do really, really remember the demo of Snow Surfers. Played the demo quite a lot. So much so I kind of wish I had the game back in the day, but not one that I did have. That is absolutely mint, by the way, guys. Soldier of Fortune. Yeah, not got much to say about this. Never played it before, and it's meant to be really gory, right? I mean, it's 18. Long load times, apparently. But yeah, cool stuff. Pretty much mint again. This is one that I'm going to be gutted about losing. This is my day one Sonic Adventure. I mean, I'm kind of tempted. So my favourite games of all time, you've got Shenmue 2, of course, and then it's Sonic Adventure. And then Nights into Dreams is probably my fourth favourite game of all time. But see, my plan is that even though I'm going to be selling these PAL games, and I don't really want to be taking this across to Japan, whether or not it even survived the journey, do you know what I mean? Because of how flimsy these cases are, and I'm just going to enjoy. Ooh, that insert might be staying, unfortunately, with me, because of the Shenmue insert there. I think I will keep that insert, actually. Sorry. But yeah, and that's a little bit of a token of losing this game. But Sonic Adventure, my favourite, my third favourite game of all time. Really nice condition copy of it as well there. Did I see the disc? Considering I had that day one, that is absolutely spotless, man. Wow. I don't know how I did it, honestly. That is absolutely perfect condition. I just noticed that there's a crack just on the spine, unfortunately, but other than that, considering that was a day one purchase, came with my Dreamcast, that is pretty much mint condition. Here is Sonic Adventure 2. I did love this game as a kid, but playing it again, I just hate the treasure hunting stages and the gun stages. I much preferred the open world element of the original game, wandering around. The Sonic, playing through the Sonic story alone is so much fun. And I even like the Tails because they're just like Sonic stages. I like the Knuckles because they're easy treasure hunting stages, a bit more fun. I like Amy stages because, again, they're just kind of like Sonic stages in a sense, but you've got the hammer. I like the fishing element, and I quite like the 102 because they don't really last too long, the levels, they're just nice. Whereas Sonic Adventure 2, the shooting stages just seem to go on forever, and then you'll have like part of the story will be like a Tails mission, and then it'll be like another Tails mission or something like that. It's like so close together, and the Sonic stages feel so far apart. So it is a bit of a grind trying to play through Sonic Adventure 2 in my opinion. Over the first, I could literally sit down and just do the first from start to finish. Here's Sonic Shuffle. We're missing one tooth, but the disc looks perfect. The case isn't too bad. I remember picking this up actually, probably for a tenner. I got it second hand from one of those like Another World or something up Hanley. Before it was Forbidden Planet. I remember playing this with my friend who had a Dreamcast, like the only person I knew who had a Dreamcast back in the day. We played that together. It's okay. Soul Calibur. Now this I had day one. Not day one because it wasn't day one with the console. Not sure why it's not in the front there. Oh shit. Oh, I tell you where. 1 second. It's in my Dreamcast. Yeah, it was in my Dreamcast. Game that I played recently actually with the arcade stick. That's the thing, I've kind of got to get rid of the arcade stick as well, unfortunately, because it's a bit bulky to take across with you. I mean, technically I could, but I reckon I can probably rebuy an arcade stick in Japan. It's a shame because it's the official Dreamcast one, which is amazing with the clicky stick. I think it's got a bit of a clicky stick, hasn't it? Yeah, Soul Calibur, pretty much pristine considering I had it since the release date. Soul Fighter, this was a game that I had. One of those play.com. I'll give it a go. Looks cool. It was advertised a lot in the magazines as well. You get those big full-on page spreads of Soul Fighter adverts. Not the best game, but I did enjoy it actually for what it was back in the day. Bit of a weird, clunky Golden Axe type of game. Chef's Love Shack. I did like South Park. I can't say I really watched it as a kid, but yeah, I did own this game. So trying to, just notice there's a bit of a crack again, one of those weird sort of circular cracks. Trying to answer questions about South Park when I didn't really know the South Park trivia, but I did quite enjoy it. I enjoyed the mini games, and there isn't too many questions, so you actually get used to what the answer's going to be. And I also owned South Park Rally as a kid, which is again bizarre, but a game that I quite enjoyed. I would like to play this again actually, because I do remember enjoying it more than probably a lot of people I've seen reviews or talking about it did. But I really enjoyed it. So I'd like to see why I really enjoyed it. Both of them pretty much mint, by the way. And Soul Fighter, I don't know if I said that. Not too bad. Case is a little bit scuffed on the front, but I think everything was fine in that. Space Channel 5, one of my favourite games. Another one that I'd be sad to lose, but I do actually already own this on Japanese that I probably will take with me. I've got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I think, in Japanese, so... And I've got part 2 of Space Channel 5 Japanese version, so... Those already will go with me and begin my collection. Just check this out. Make sure there's no Shenmue 2 advert, no. So that can stay. That is a cool advert, to be fair. And yeah, I love both Space Channel 5 games. It's a shame that they only actually released the first one over here. At least on the Dreamcast. Really good condition. And we've got Spawn in the Demon's Hand. Missing a few teeth in the front, so the disc will be in the back. Yeah, which isn't missing any teeth. Disc is pretty much spotless. There is a few little lines, but nothing major. Let me turn this light around a little bit more, give myself a bit more shine. So we've got another insert and the manual. Spawn. Here's Spec Ops 2 Amiga Squad. It has got a crack there and a little crack there, and maybe a tiny little crack there. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's in stiff. That's what she said. Yeah, spotless disc though. There's the manual. Oh, it's also got Dream Key version 1.5 in the back. Is that an online game? Did it require... Oh, that just needs wiping. 1.5, you don't really see that one very often, do you? Interesting. We've got Speed Devils, a game that I had when it came out. I don't know if that was launch or... Was Speed Devils a launch game? I'm not sure. Quite close to launch though, right? Oh, Trick Style I did have actually at launch. Speed Devils I'm not sure about. Podium Championship. Don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I will do. Just give me a sec. Yeah, weird little insert there. And there's the manual. Great game. I love Speed Devils. I love the morphing of the tracks per lap. Quite unique back in the day for that, I believe. Like the dinosaur stage and that sort of stuff. Never played this version though, the online racing. I don't know if there's any new courses or what's going on. I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's just the same game but with an online mode. Some teeth missing in the front. Absolutely spotless disc. Absolutely mint condition. There's the manual. A little bit of a fold in the back of the manual there, not quite sure why. And that is the end of that section of games. So we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 sections to go. Right, let's continue with the next section. So this is Spider-Man. Tiny bit sort of marked on the front there. Looks like it could be wiped clean. We've got a bit of a crack on the back of the case. Yeah, nothing too serious. Insert a tiny bit of a fold there. And the disc looks to be pretty good condition. Maybe about a 9 out of 10. All the teeth are intact, which is nice to see. Oh, we've got a pre-owned sticker on the manual. I'm pretty sure you could probably just peel that off. Not too much bother. Other than that, manual looks to be in pretty good condition. And then a fan favourite here, Spirit of Speed 1937. It feels brand new. I think this might be one that I had sealed. And I do realise like all games originally came sealed. But like since I was collecting these like 10 years ago, it was like I bought it sealed, and like I've probably like put it in the console once, if you know what I mean. So that is again probably one of the few that is near mint. Not that that's like a particularly sought after game, but I suppose you could use that case for one of the more sought after games, if that's a thing people do. I don't know. Star Lancer, perfect disc, not a mark on that. The case was a little bit rough feeling, but not too bad actually. No complaints from anyone, I wouldn't have thought. Manual looks to be really nice condition, nice and clean. There we go, another good one. Then we've got Star Wars Demolition. This feels brand new as well. I feel like I got this one sealed as well. Disc is perfect, all teeth intact. Manual is absolutely perfect. Yeah, another very mint condition copy of Star Wars Demolition. Ooh, a game that I really enjoy actually, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. This is one that I had as a kid. There is a crack there. I forgot to mention, well, I didn't forget to mention it because I just mentioned it, but I saw it and then didn't point it out, and then reminded myself to mention it. Absolutely crystal clean disc again. And there is a little bit of a foldage there of the spine. That's probably just how it's set in. Like I say, it's a tiny bit too big how they designed the rear insert. Manual looks okay, but it does fit quite nicely. Ooh, another Star Wars game. I forgot that there was actually 3 Star Wars games on the Dreamcast. Here is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Looks to be nice condition. Disc is spotless again. Honestly, I'm really amazed. There is one tooth missing there, I just noticed. But yeah, I'm really amazed how many games I own that are pretty much mint condition, man. Nice colour manual. Ooh, this is a nice rare one. Look at that case, man. Absolutely pristine. Absolutely pristine. Wow. Pristine disc. Oh my god. Is this like the mintest condition double Street Fighter 2 double impact ever? I know this is a very rare game, but oh my god, look how it was. Honestly, it's like it's a brand new game. That's amazing. I think that is that's the rarest Street Fighter game, right? I'm sure it is. Here's Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Again, looks to be a really nice condition. Copy of the game. There's a little mark there. A few little blemishes that could be wiped off looking at them. We've got a permanent marker, or well, I don't even know if it's a permanent marker. It could wipe off with some sort of polish or something, I'm not sure. Disc looks to be, yeah, really nice. 9 out of 10. There is one little tiny mark I noticed on that, but other than that, perfect. Manual, really nice. There is a tiny rip there on the manual. Is that showing up? But that is literally just, it could even have come like that, if you know what I mean. Occasionally you do get manuals like that. These big manuals that just sit funny in the case. And the last Street Fighter game is Street Fighter Alpha 3. We've got a colour, well, a pen mark there that could be wiped off, and then some marks to the case there that probably can't be wiped off. Generally looks okay. Oh, the front is actually quite marked there. Could do with a replacement. The front insert, don't know if you can see that, is a little bit wavy, bit of a I don't know, like a bend or something. Didn't even know how that sort of stuff happens, but yeah. Disc needs wiping down. There's quite a lot of fingerprints on it. Like I say, I would wipe it down, but then it's like, well, what's the point when you know, I might not have the best wiping tool and I don't really need to wipe it. But yeah, that just needs a little bit of a wipe and that would be fine. Manual, nice bloody thick manual. Look at the size of that bastard. Looks to be good condition. Just thick, and I don't know, it's like I have got like this humidity quite nicely ran room, but it also feels a bit like cold kind of a feeling on that particular one. But I think that's just because of the size of the manual. Ooh, this one feels nice. Just some cases, you just touch them and feel them and they feel so smooth and like pristine. There's a little mark going across the front of the casing there, but this looks to be brand new. Disc is spotless. Potentially one that I had sealed. Manual looks to be perfect. There's also an insert there as well. Yeah, spot on that is. Another mint condition copy of Stunt GP. Stupid Invaders. Tiny scuff mark there. Sticker residue. Just needs a bit of a better wipe. Possibly a tiny crack. No, I think it's just a scuff on the back there. Disc 1. Perfect condition. Not a mark on that. Disc 2, even more perfect, if that's possible. And there's your manual. Yeah, spot on. Oops. Little things, man. Do your head in. There we go. Next game, Super Magnetic Neo. Had this one as a kid. Really enjoy this game. Case is spotless. Yeah, one of my favourites on the system. Unfortunately, we've got some missing teeth there. Some black mark thing there as well that can blow away. Unfortunate. Ooh, also point that out, there's a tiny bit of a crink-a-dink in the front insert. Absolutely spotless manual. That looks really nice. Just looking for rust there. Yeah, I don't think that is. Just a tiny bit black looking on the sides of the staples there, but no rust. And a spotless disc again. Great game, that one, if you haven't played that. Super Magnetic Neo. Really cool platformer, 3D platformer. Super Runabout, The Golden State. We've got a hairline crack just on the front of the case there, but not doing anything to the integrity of the case. Nice on the back, a little bit of a scuff there. I'm trying to move it around just in case you can see it on camera. Disc, immaculate. Again. Manual, immaculate. Barely even opened that. It's like a tight one. How good that is. And the last game of this set, Super Rocket... Oh, not Super. It's Surf Rocket Racers. Apologies. Case looks to be pretty good. There's a few little scuffy marks around there. That side of it. Just down here. Disc. Looks to be pretty good. Maybe like an 8.5 out of 10 on that. And the manual. Fine as well. There we go. Right, next up we've got Suzuki All-Star Racing, or Extreme Racing. Nice condition. Mark there that could be wiped off, I think. Disc is completely spotless. Not a single mark. I feel like I had this one brand new, to be honest. Yeah, pretty much mint condition of Suzuki All-Star Extreme Racing. One of my favourites on the system. Owned this one as a kid. A little bit of a mark there that needs a polish, wipe off. Other than that, case is looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit of a cleaning required on the front. Disc, perfect disc. Tiny blemish on the inner insert there. And let's have a look at the rear, no teeth missing. Tiny few blemishes there. Manual looks to be fine. Awesome game. Top 10 on the Dreamcast, that one for me. I love the story. I love the gameplay. Oh, that's a javelin. I thought it was a crack, but it is javelin. Sydney 2000. Did I say the name of that, by the way? Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage. Yeah, so Sydney 2000 now. There's a bit of a sticky residue on the spine. It's not none of my sticky residue. Not from me. It wouldn't be on this game anyway. There's a little bit of a scuffy mark thing on the back there, but nothing that anyone's going to notice really. Disc is absolutely immaculate again. Bit of a running theme at the moment. Manual, nice. We've even got extra insert in there. Yep, nice condition, Sydney 2000. Here is Taxi 2 Les Jeux, which is the French exclusive game. Quite a hard one to find, quite a hard one to buy. It was quite expensive at the time. I think it was about £100. Unfortunately, we're missing a hinge on there, which, yeah, slightly annoying for Taxi 2, considering it's a rare game. So could probably replace this case with a case of like a cheaper, like a Choo Choo Rocket kind of game, if that's even still a cheap game anymore. You've got an insert at the back there, Ubisoft one, and Taxi 2 manual, of course. Let's try and put the front casing back on. I probably should put that disc in the rear. That's what she said. To easy access to the game without messing about with the hinge. Also, obviously, this case does need replacing. Where the hinge was, it's actually completely broke off there, unfortunately, which is a shame. Techromancer, a game I had as a kid. Love this game as well. Really nice VMU integration as well with the little mini game that you can play on the VMU. Great game. Disc on the front needs a bit of a wipe by the looks of it. It's got sort of like almost like fingerprints, but on the top of the disc. Manual is perfection, really. Considering I owned this as a kid, I did actually use the manual. I remember reading all the special moves for each of the characters. And we've got Tee Off Golf. We've moved into the T's actually. So a bit of a sticky residue again on the spines. Not quite sure why. Whether I don't know, some sort of liquid maybe. Like a Coke was like, I like tss, and then without realising the spray got on a few of the spines, because very consistent on the spine. Again, nothing to do with me. And this was, I'm pretty sure, a sealed game at the time. Manual so nice and crispy. Case is absolutely mint condition. Next we've got the Grinch under the T's, just how I like to do it. Just because of how the spine looks, I would hate to put that in the G, it would bother me. Even got the sticker on there, which I believe was on the seal. So I've placed it in a spot that doesn't particularly cover anything, I think, because it looks like I've peeled it off anyway. I think that was on the seal. If this was a sealed game, I'm not quite sure actually. Maybe it was. Disc is spotless. It looks like it was a sealed game to me because everything looks absolutely spotless. Look at that colour manual. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's the Grinch. Then we've got the House of the Dead 2. Again with the T's. Really nice condition case. This is one that I owned back in the day. Came with the gun. But again, I believe it was a third-party gun. I don't recall having a House of the Dead 2 themed box. So I'm pretty sure we just bought the gun as a standalone. So look at this insert, make sure there's no Shenmue on it. No. So that can stay in the box. Awesome game. Like I say, I had it as a kid. One of my favourite light gun shooters of all time. I'm probably one of the few that would put House of the Dead 1 above House of the Dead 2. But love the game all the same. Don't come, don't come. Suffer like G did. The next Tetris looks to be absolutely mint condition box again. There is a few little scuffs there. Nothing major. Disc is perfection again. It's been a while since I've seen a little mark on any of these discs actually. What we got here? So these are, what are these softwares? Ubisoft. Really? Didn't realise Ubisoft did Evolution. And there is the manual for the next Tetris. Again under T's, the next Tetris. And again, the Nomad Soul. Had this as a child. Love this game. kind of like another open world-esque game, considering like Shenmue seemed to have been the benchmark for open world back in the day, but it was a couple of games that had open world elements, Nomad Soul being a pretty good open world game, and again like Sonic Adventure 1 with that open world hub. So yeah, a mint condition copy of the Nomad Soul there. I don't know if I mentioned that. Time Stalkers, we've got a little bit of a crack on the case there. Oh, and another one just going across there. I don't know if that's showing up there. Front is a few little scuffs, but yeah, looks to be in good nick again. Disc's just got fingerprints on it really, maybe give it a 9 out of 10 on the disc. Fingerprints and a mark, but no deep scratches or even any scratches really, just mark. Oh, let's check out this insert. I don't know if there is one, but I'm hoping that there'd be one that has a Shenmue 2 box art. This is a nice one actually. Yeah, there isn't. I think we may have seen this one. I think there was one I did with the Space Channel 5 in the Space Channel 5 box. Manual looks to be really good as well. Yeah, Time Stalkers there. Tokyo Highway Challenge. We're getting there. Again, a little thing that just needs wiping off on the spine. We're getting through these now. Just honestly, I don't have anything to say about the discs because they're so perfect. Perfect manual. Yeah, that could have been a sealed one, to be honest. And then we've got Tokyo Highway Challenge 2. Case is a little bit more scuffed. Definitely a used game. And we've actually got some missing teeth there. Putting the insert in the slots there. Yeah, so missing teeth on the front. However, the back of the case has all its teeth. The disc generally looks good. There's just one hairline scratch on this corner here. I don't know if that'll show up at all on the camera, but hopefully you saw that. Manual. Perfect manual, to be honest. Perfect condition manual. And the last game of this section is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, including the Eagle Watch missions. Bit of a mouthful, that one. Some marks down here. Possibly a crack there. Hard to tell. Could just be a scuff line. Disc is fine in the front there. A few tiny little marks, probably an 8.5 looking. I've just spat on. Yeah, not too bad at all. And we're all good in the back. We've even got another insert there mentioning something about the game freezing if you remove the VMU. And that's that stack done. Okay, next up is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Rogue Spear Plus Mission Pack Urban Operations. Even longer title there. Again with the spinal thing, I don't know what's going on there. But generally, there is not a crack, just a scuff on this side of the case. Let's have a look at the disc. Disc just needs wiping. There is a couple of little marks. Again, probably an 8.5 out of 10 on the disc. Manual is looking good. Then we've got Tomb Raider Chronicles in that order, even though this is Tomb Raider 5. Again with the spine things, I don't know what I've done. But yeah, something's got on the spines of these. Yeah, nice case. This is one that I owned back in the day, actually. Tomb Raider Chronicles. Just a tiny scuffing mark on there that could even be wiped off. But looking pretty good. We've even got this back insert, Lara Croft, Win a Trip to Rome. And the manual looks pretty crisp. Nice colour manual. Here is Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, which obviously is Tomb Raider 4, a game I owned back in the day as well. Case looks to be really nice condition. Let's have a look at the disc. Spotless disc. God, I took care of some games, man, honestly. We've also got a couple of little inserts in the back here. Panasonic and a Nomad Soul. Another colour manual. Looks good. Mint condition, that is, I'd say. And then we've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I remember this being sealed. So not a mark or anything on the case. Ooh, perfect disc. This is one that I did own back in the day, but I had a burnt copy of. Tony Hawk's 2. So yeah, that's the legit one. Absolutely mint condition. Why have I put that first? I think it's because of the... I'm not sure. Maybe that's the wrong way round. Maybe it should have been Tony Hawk's Skateboarding first and then Pro Skater 2. Probably would do that normally. This is the game. I did own this myself back in the day. So this is my original copy. Original legit copy. Disc looked to be okay there, maybe a 9 out of 10. Manual, yeah, not too bad at all. Nice condition copy of Tony Hawk's Skateboarding. I'm going to put that first, actually. Then we got Toy Commander. I feel like this was sealed. I think I had a burned... No, I didn't actually. What I did with this was I borrowed Toy Commander from a friend because this was a launch game. And I remember borrowing this game off a friend at school and enjoying a little bit. But yeah, mint condition because that was sealed. Toy Racer. I remember having this as a kid because this was like one of the few online games at the time. And it was only like a £5, I think, from Toys R Us or wherever I picked this up from. Got an insert at the back here. Oh, mate. Yes. Look at that. Apologies, but that is staying with me. Nice little Shenmue 2 insert. Not sure why there's 2 inserts in there. We've also got this booklet. I think it's the same one. Let me just double check that with the Shenmue. Oh, or is it a different one? No, it's the same. Extreme Sports should be here. Yeah, okay. So I'll keep that one because that's my from Sonic Adventure. And I'll leave that one in there. And there's the Toy Racer manual. Yeah, again, really nice condition. Trick Style, launch title. Had it at launch. This has been with me since that day. Since whatever, September 2000 was it? The Dreamcast launch. Nice crispy manual. And a really nice condition copy of Trick Style. Now we're into the U's. We're getting there, guys. We're not far off now. Massive crack on the back of this one, but this is UEFA Dream Soccer. It's also not really sitting that well because the thing's been bent there. I've also got a crack on the front and maybe a little hairline crack just there. But the case is generally okay. With this being a rather cheap sports title, I don't think I was too fussed about this one. So the disc, that's probably the worst I've seen out of my set so far. That's probably like a 6 out of 10 of my own judgment. Manual is probably the best thing about this one. Nice clean manual. And then yeah, we just got the fortunate not really sitting that well. But you could probably bend that into place. Then we got UEFA Striker. Case looks to be in good nick. Disc is good nick. Not a single mark on that. Manual is back to front for some reason, but perfect manual. Yep, mint condition UEFA Striker. Ultimate Fighting Championship was one that I got sealed. Hence, it's absolutely brand spanking new still. It's probably only been in the Dreamcast once for probably about 15 minutes. Unreal Tournament. This game, I'm pretty sure I had a burnt copy of this, or Quake 3 I think was probably the one that I played more of. A little bit of like water damage there, even though it doesn't feel like it, or look like it from the front. But on the back there, there's like a stain. Quite a few teeth missing on the front there, hence why the disc is in the back. Disc is, again, probably even worse, actually, than the 6 out of 10. A lot of marks that could just be wiped off, but that's probably, to my standards, my high standards, a 5 out of 10. I'm sure the game works completely fine, though, because, like I say, it's none of that was deep scratches. That's just my rating. Urban Chaos just could do with a bit of a wipe. I think even that one could be wiped off, I'm not sure. A few little blemishes and marks on this case. I don't know why I keep making my voice go higher at the end of sentences. Absolutely immaculate disc though. And the manual, I'm pretty sure is going to be immaculate as well. Yeah, spot on. I think I remember picking this up for about 15 quid actually, this game. 12 to 15 quid back in the day, I don't know how much that is these days. And finally of this section, V-Rally 2 Expert Edition. This is a game that I owned as a kid and absolutely loved. I loved that you could build your own tracks, and I used to build insane roller coaster-esque type tracks where you do a gigantic hill up and then just a massive drop at the side. It's still got the other insert in there. The manual has been well loved, and also the inner bit there has got a little bit of a fold to it. Let's see how it looks when it's shut. Can you see the game name? Yeah, it looks fine actually. And that's that section done. Okay, we finally reached the last pile of Dreamcast games, finally. So this is Vanishing Point. Really nice condition. This is a game that I had as a kid. Actually really enjoyed this as well. I feel like every game that I owned for the Dreamcast as a kid, I absolutely loved, whether that was just trying to find the love in the game at the moment, or they are actually really good games. But yeah, Vanishing Point, I don't think it makes anyone's top Dreamcast games, but I really enjoyed that at the time. What am I talking about now? Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Another one I owned as a kid, and again, another one that I thoroughly enjoyed. I completed this multiple times actually. Disc for Vanishing Point was perfect, immaculate. This is immaculate, just needs a wipe. I can't see any marks or anything on that. Teeth are all intact, manual is fine, case is perfect as well for both of them. Then Sega Sports Virtual Athlete 2K. Of course it's under the V's because it's Virtual Athlete. Virtua Athlete rather. Perfect case. Under that light like that, there's a few little scratches to the front, but generally really good condition. Disc is spotless, as is the theme of this. That's that same one, right? I think. One last quick check because my memory is shocking, but I'm pretty sure that is, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same one that we keep seeing of that insert. And there's the manual, and then let's see if we can close that. Perfect. And we got Virtua Fighter 3 TB, the game that I had on launch day as a kid. This looks absolutely immaculate again. Great game actually, this is, with a arcade stick, is how I'd recommend playing this. Dreamcast official arcade stick. Love that game. Virtua Striker 2 version 2000.1. Another game I had as a kid. Wasn't really a massive football fan as a child. It was only really like my teenage years that I started getting into club football. But Virtua Striker 2, such a fun football game. I used to struggle to score a goal, but really enjoyable game, that one. Yeah, I was quite into football games still. Like I had FIFA 98, is it? Road to the World Cup on the Saturn, and you know, just various games like that. But I've just more played them for fun rather than I'm into football. Obviously, I'm really into football now. Virtua Tennis, unfortunately, has a crack there. And this is a game that I owned as a kid. And who'd have thought tennis would be such a great game? This is an awesome game. Not a scratch on the disc, although the teeth have seen better days there. This case has seen better days, to be honest, but we'll put the disc in the back. Yeah. Probably needs a case swap, Virtua Tennis. I mean, the hinges are there. It's just missing some teeth, and it has a bit of a crack there, unfortunately, and chunk missing. Virtua Tennis 2. I don't believe I owned this as a kid, and this appears to be one of those games that I've mentioned quite a few times that was sealed, because that is absolutely pristine condition. I have played Virtua Tennis 2. Could have had this as a burnt copy, you know, thinking about it. Because I remember more so the mini-games with Virtua Tennis 2, I feel like. Regardless, let's move on. This is Wacky Races. This I did have as a kid, but not this one in particular. I had it as a burnt game. Wacky Races. One of my friends was really into this game. Front insert here feels a bit creased, crinkled a little bit, but generally looks okay. Case just needs a bit of a wipe. There is some marks on it actually now that I put it under that light. Just some scuffs and stuff that I've spoken about across some of these releases, or some of these games that I've got. Nice colour manual. A little bit of, I don't know what it is. Not mould, but that sort of dampy look, I guess. This is a game that I did own as a kid as well. I was a little bit embarrassed actually as a kid, because that was my era where it's like gaming was just starting to get thingy, more adult, and games like this felt a bit childish to be playing as like a 13-year-old. But secretly I thoroughly enjoyed Walt Disney Magical Racing Tour, and that is a mint condition copy of that game. Wetrix, another game I had as a kid. One of the few puzzle games that I actually really enjoyed. And again, one of my friends used to enjoy playing this with me as well. Quite a fun concept for a puzzle game. And that looks to be generally in good condition too. About a 9 out of 10 on that, Wetrix. Then we got WF Attitude Get It. It's got a crack in the back of the case there. But other than that, the case is actually immaculate. If it wasn't for that crack, that would be one that I'd think I had sealed. The disc just needs a wipe. I'm just seeing fingerprints on that. And the manual is crispy. Really nice condition with the claim insert. Next we've got WF Royal Rumble. Again, one that feels nice to touch, but there is some marks on the case there. Is that a crack? I don't think so. That's just like a line, like a scuff line, maybe even something that could be wiped off. Hinges are intact, teeth are intact -1. Disc, we wipe that off. It's got like a little bit of, just a little thing on there. Not a hair, but I don't know, like a piece of wheat. Yeah, perfect condition disc. Manual. Nice thick manual. In colour as well. Yeah. Oh, we've done that with the spine. But a really nice condition copy of Royal Rumble minus one tooth. Then we got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, game I had as a kid, obviously when Chris Tarrant and this show was extremely relevant, very popular. Dad used to love this. This was one game that I bought more so to play in front of my dad. A little bit of a again, I don't really want to say mold or anything, but you know, just how the paper sort of got a little bit of a dampy sort of look to it, even though it's not damp. You know, to touch it just feels normal. Maybe dirt, but I'm not a dirty person, so I don't know. Wild Metal, other than that was perfect, by the way. Wild Metal, nice little crack there. Again, good theming for these W's, but this is another game that I owned as a kid. One of those that I took a chance on. Probably one of the least enjoyable games that I bought on a whim. Wild Metal. I did find enjoyment out of it. I can't quite remember the game off the top of my head, but wasn't one that I put in the console for hours, let's just say. Last few here now. Worms Armageddon, again a game I owned as a kid when I was just getting into Worms on the PC. Worms Armageddon, really great Worms game. The only issue you have is if you're playing it single player, the computer just takes ages and ages to come up with moves. It's like thinking and thinking for like, it must be like 20 seconds before it starts doing something, which is unfortunate, because other than that, it's a great game. Just a crack there. Other than that, pretty immaculate. Worms World Party. Never actually played this. This was one of those sealed games, and you can feel it. It just feels amazing to touch. Disc is immaculate, of course, because it's brand new. Manual is brand new, you can see. Still got the insert in the back there. That's a mint condition copy of World Party. And the last game that we're going to cover here for the complete PAL set is Zombie Revenge. A little mark there. Other than that, generally okay. This is a game that I had as a kid. Oh, there's a little bit of a 3-line crack on the spine there. Not sure if that's showing up, but yeah, Zombie Revenge, awesome game as well. Missing some teeth, unfortunately, on the front. On the rear is where the disc is. Oh, it's actually a bit hard to get out there for some reason. Pretty immaculate, to be honest. The disc is. And the manual. Fun game, this is Zombie Revenge. Nice. Sort of feels a bit Dynamite copy, but with a sort of House of the Dead spin on it. So that is every single game that I own for PAL Dreamcast official. That is the full set, to be fair. The only ones I haven't shown, or I probably have shown, I'll probably insert a clip, was my copy of Shenmue 1 and 2. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that is basically what I'm going to show in this video. I do have the Samba de Amiga maracas is what I meant to say, that I'll try and show quickly right now. Let me just put these down. Right, here is my Samba de Amiga box, the one that I probably showed a picture of me as a kid holding in excitement. Unfortunately, it's not of the same condition as it was. It's been taken to and from places like my nan's, my friends. Obviously these tabs over time, in and out. The markers near cold places, somewhat slightly damp conditions at some point. I got a little bit of peeling of the box there, unfortunately. I'll try and be careful with this. But other than that, generally, it's all here. It's still a box, just not the best box. You saw the actual game earlier, the Samba de Amiga game. Here is the mat. It's obviously been tucked in there for ages. Samba de Amiga mat. It looks like it probably should be folded, but I've just sort of rolled it up. Let me see. There's a fold line there from potentially back in the day, or unless I did that. Like a poster, is it? Almost. Not quite sure. I'll probably just roll it back up how I had it prior to that. The maracas are in here and they worked the last time I used them. A little bit of a scuff there. Button's fine. There's your sensor, your wire, all to there. These go in the things, don't they? Second maraca. Don't know, maybe just needs a little bit of a wipe down, but generally okay. There's your sensor on that one, all good. All perfect working condition, like I say, the last time I used it. Here is the sensor bar. Just a bit dusty, really. Some weird bits pull off there, off the back of there. All the pads are intact. And yeah, the Velcro, I forget what the Velcro is for. Is it? Yeah, I think it's for the mat. And that's where the maracas plug into. Paperwork, was there any? I'm not sure. Not sure if there was any paperwork or is it all just in the game. Didn't particularly want to take these out, but let's have a look. I think we would see it. There's somewhat of a dusty cobweb in here. So I will get this cleaned out. Yeah, there's like a little spider in there, like a dead spider. So yeah, I don't know if that will put people off or not. It just needs a tiny bit of a clean. Actually just seeing it now, you can kind of see some cobwebby stuff here. I might have to get the wife on that actually, because not a huge fan of things like that, but that'll just wipe off with a cloth, I'm sure. Like I say, it's been sat under this colourful table for the best part of 10 years now. So yeah, little cobwebby things like that, I guess, are to be expected. But the box is in pretty good. Like, is that going to shut? I don't know. But it's in not the best condition, of course. I'm sure what we're doing with this wire thing here. Where the fuck does this go? Does it sit on top? Does it need to go like under here and then on top? I don't know. Maybe like that. Shove that in there. Oh man. I'm not quite sure on that wire. Unless it'll fit, squeeze down there. I'll cram the bastard in now and do more damage. That wire actually sits on top, doesn't it? Get this out again. Pretty sure this wire that goes in there, then that clips in there, and then this wire sits along the top here. Pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, so we'll get that cleaned out, but other than that, hopefully that looks to be in adequate condition for you know, a complete game. Again, there may have been some paperwork with that inside the box. That might be the only thing that isn't complete, I'm not 100%. But it serves a purpose. Condition of the box wise, I mean, there's a little hole there, little hole dent there. And like I say, some peeling, some well wornness, as you can see. I'd personally probably give that a 4 out of 10. Box conditions, maybe even a 3. But that, again, that's just me. That might be Really nice collectible for someone. I'll leave that there. Let the spiders run off in their own due time. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put this fucking thing in. Right, and that's it then, guys. So hopefully anyone that stumbled across this video who may have been interested in an A to Z of a complete PAL Dreamcast set and perhaps what the contents of each game looks like. I don't know if some of these games should have had maybe an insert or not, or you know, something was missing from one of the packages, like the Samvadi Mega Box here. Perhaps should have had some paperwork in there. I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, I you know, everything you've seen is everything that I actually have. Gaming wise, the only thing that I probably do have in the back of my mind, but it could be in the loft, is the big box for Planet Ring. I'm pretty sure I had that with the microphone. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty sure everything else is as is, complete. And that is every single Dreamcast game, PAL, in the set. I've kind of exhausted my voice, guys, so hopefully if anyone did make it this far, well, thank you for watching for one, but hopefully you don't mind watching future videos and you're not sick of me after all that, because that is a hefty chunk of video that you just watched. And to be fair, I don't know why you'd be mad enough to watch that full thing. But if you did, thank you very much. Or if you jumped ahead to the end here, cheater, why? Right, thanks again, everyone. More Sega content on the way. Going to be doing another one of these at some point for my Sega Saturn set as well, because unfortunately that's making the chop with the move to Japan on the cards. But yeah, look forward to some of these videos coming very soon. Take care. See you guys. Bye.